Welcome to the Alex 1999-2000 video. Dario hoping his side is strong enough to stay in the first division this term. A difficult task as the gap between the rich and the poor clubs gets bigger. In the first division this season we see the arrival of Manchester City, Fulham, Nottingham Forest and Blackburn. But Crewe have two new players for the term, Colin Cram from Bristol City and Neil Savell from Macclesfield. But there's no Seth Johnson as he's now gone to Derby County. Danny Murphy has returned to Liverpool. Which kicks off with an away trip to Crystal Palace. In a difficult tie for Dario Gradi's men, they were unfortunate here with Lee Unsworth giving away a spot kick. A little pull down and the referee decides to award the penalty kick. But Jason Kearton has been in impressive form over the pre-season and he produces a miraculous save, and the miss then by Bradbury really does give Crewe a level scoreline. But if that was kamikaze attacking, watch for this period of play. As first of all we have a period of head tennis, the ball bounces in around the Crewe box for what appears like an age. Bradbury again is involved, Crewe try and clear, but eventually the emphatic finish comes from Simon Rogers. One of those horrendous moments if you're a manager watching that period of play. Well, if Dario was disappointed with the way that he conceded that goal, his team, then he must have been impressed with the resilience they showed 6 minutes from time. It really does epitomise the way that Crewe have spirit this season and the way that they finished last term. Again, always keen to try and push the ball forward, and the bounce goes their way, and Mark Rivers produces another emphatic finish, his first of the season. A welcome point for Crewe on opening day. The first round of the Worthington Cup and its first leg saw Crewe travel to the Victoria Ground, where they got off to the worst possible start against Hartlepool, conceding a goal after just 3 minutes to Tommy Miller. Colin Little was last season's leading goal scorer with 12 goals, and he gets his account underway just 8 minutes later to tie the ball game up. Good work from Cram on the near side, and there's Colin Little in where it hurts to get Crewe back on level terms. Foreigners have become part and parcel of the English game in recent years, and here an Argentinian called Gus Delela scores Hartlepool's second goal to give them the lead again. 6 minutes later though, Crewe are back on level terms. Rodney Jack involved, a man that we've seen little of at the early part of the season due to injuries, and also Kenny Lunt, who's making his first senior start in the Worthington Cup. And then the finish from Colin Little. If his first goal was about power inside the 6-yard box, the second was about precision. Crewe's rollercoaster ride in this game though was not yet over, and on the hour mark Hartlepool regain the lead. Paul Stevenson is the man to strike the free kick, but it takes a wicked deflection from the wall to defeat Jason Kearton. Poole back in front now, 3-2. Colin Cram took a pay cut to come to Crewe over the summer from Bristol City, and he starts and ends this move that gives Crewe a precious draw. Lunt again involved with the piercing ball. The finish though from Cram is an impressive one and gives Crewe 3 vital away goals.
Walsall will work hard on their defending in training this week. Manager Ray Graydon had no idea of the trauma to come when Mark Robbins headed the Saddlers in front. Crewe countered with an equaliser from Phil Charnock just 5 minutes later, but even the Alex boss Dario Gradi agreed his side was outplayed in the first half. So what happened during the break? Walsall were a different team after the restart. First, Kenny Lunt's shot crept under the keeper for Mark Rivers to make it 2-1. Abysmal was Graydon's assessment of his back line. 60 seconds later, Colin Little got the better of Chris Marsh and set up Lunt to extend Crewe's lead. Walsall spurned several chances to recover before another far post corner caused more confusion. Little made it 4-1, Crewe ecstatic, but a day most fans at the Bescot will want to forget.
5 minutes from the end of the first half, and Crewe get their first set piece and the first opportunity for Sean Smith to try and aim for one of the big central defenders, Wright or Foreign. Foreign's the one in motion at the back post. It's gone through, looking for a Foreign, and he should have scored. The rebound surely goes in from Rivers. Well, Mr. Warren waves play away. But he's left it for Stevenson, whose cross would have gone in, but for a point-blank stop by Kearton. Stephen Wright. That's a great long ball that Crabb could take in his stride. He's certainly volleyed it with some power. The save by Dibble needed to be made. We're inside the final 5 minutes as Kenny Lunk is ready to take this free kick. It flicks off the head into Colin Little. It's his 4th goal of the season, and it's probably took Crewe through to the second round of the Worthington Cup. Just 3 minutes remaining, and his strike there from 6 yards gives Crewe the lead on the evening and gives them their first goal of the new Alexandra Stadium. Lund, who provided the pass from the free kick to give the first goal. Rivers within a palm of bringing the second. It's a great flick on from Groves, and Leicester's speed has took him in front of everyone. It was just the finish that needed to be put in from Jack Lester then. As it was the touch of Stephen Wright. Caldecott. Now Ashcroft backheels it into the path of John McDermott, and the interception off the hand of Kearton is by Jack Lester, and that's the opening goal of the game. And Lester, who's threatened throughout, gets what he deserves. It's certainly a position to create from that Smith has here with this free kick. Cram with the flick, and it's not a million miles away from... Little, it's a clever knockdown for Rivers, who's got the run there from Savell. Could it be his first for the club? It is! Neil Savell levels the scores 3 minutes from the end with a peach of a strike. The movement from midfield was perfect, the finish was precise, and Neil Savell, after his move over the summer from Macclesfield, supplies us with the first league goal at the Alexandra Stadium and his first goal of the new season. Ashcroft. Oh, Lee Ashcroft, a chance to win it, and the deflection that was fortunate off the backside of Kearton keeps it out.
The Crewe manager, well, is it a point gained or 2 points dropped?
That was about right, I think. I thought we would like to have got the winner at the end. I thought after we scored, we had 1 or 2 little chances. David had a chance to slide the ball in behind him and didn't quite get it in behind. The free kick didn't quite go in behind like it did, was it Tuesday? And Colin had a chance to get the ball in behind him, and again, we didn't produce the quality up there often enough to win the game, and we just made that one mistake. We knew basically that was the way they played, give and goes, and that was really the main threat. And we've got to stay with our men on the give and goes, which is easier said than done. And in the end, we got done on a give and go, and they got the goal, which was, when I say it was predictable if they were going to get a goal, that was the way they were going to get it.
Creativity-wise, the goal that came from Neil Savell must have been pleasing.
Yes, yeah, it did. It was Rivers settled down and showed it was the first time Colin really got inside, and a nice little ball in that we've been practicing instead of these high up and unders for Duncan Ferguson, and so we managed to get a header from it. River relaxed and played Neil Sorwell in perfectly, and Neil did well. I thought he took the goal very well, which isn't a complete surprise. I think he's got a bit to come, Neil. I'm looking forward to seeing how he ends up during this season.
How are you viewing the team's performances at the moment?
Well, we're not as mobile as we were. We haven't got the front players who are, going to run past people. Neil Sorwell ran past them, but not with the ball. So that's how we've got to beat them. We've got to be strong in there. We are, for the first time ever, strong in there. No one's going to bully Neil Sorwell or Phil Charnock. They'll stand their ground, they'll win their headers, they'll win the challenges, and they can play. But they don't play the same as Danny Murphy and Seth Johnson and Gareth Wally. So we are going to have to try and play off the front players. We're going to have to rely on the front players more for threat. Whereas at this time last year I was saying I needed the midfield players, Jermaine and Seth to get forward and score goals, because we hadn't got the goal scorers up front. Well, we've got the goal scorers up front now, and so we're going to have to rely on the front players to score the goals, and the back six then to stop the goals.
Yes, you must be very impressed with following that. Played very well.
I thought so. I thought they did okay. I don't think Macca's particularly made many mistakes. Ange's made one or two. I think that these two give us something a little bit different. Obviously, Ferran's that bit bigger, and much better if people are whacking the ball in at the end of the game against us. No better in their box than Macca, probably not as good. Stephen's just that little bit surer, better balanced, maybe, a little bit tougher. But Ange's not done badly. But I've got to see if I got people who can do that little bit better. And the two of them played very well the last game out against the Cameroons in a practice game. Better, I thought, perhaps than the other two boys had played.
Would you say it's fair that you're struggling for maybe an extra midfielder? Would you be looking for a midfielder?
No, well, I am looking for a midfielder because I've only got the two, and I'd have to play Kenny in there if I had a problem. So I am looking for one that can go in there, yes, and cause a bit of competition for places. And I'd like a sub for Rodney, someone who can fly past people on the wings, because when he's not injured, that does change our way of playing a lot. I mean, I'm always looking for a better player. Somebody rang me up the down, said he was going to recommend a player to me that was like Maradona. So I said, yeah, he'd do. So we'll have a look and see if he's like Maradona.
We mentioned three of the new signings. Paul Tate came on the 4th.
Yeah.
Can you have a few words about him?
Yes, he's almost like starting his apprenticeship all over again for Tate. And I mean, I took him essentially because he'd got a super attitude. Came and trained here a lot last year off his own bat for nothing really. Just wanting the chance, and he can head it. He's a good leaper. So I just felt that he'd got a bit more to work with than Bus. You know, I felt that I'd gone as far as I could with Anthobus. He was a super lad and could come on and win a few flick-ons. But I didn't think I was going to improve Bus anymore. And whereas Tate, I think perhaps we're going to improve him. We've already, you know, I've been talking to him about being that little bit more competitive and professional. And I thought he came on and looked a very determined, you know, looked a determined player. So in the end, I thought it's a sub that sometimes because Crummy can score a goal, and although I felt he'd fizzled out a bit, he could score a goal, whereas Tate hasn't quite got that threat, and it could have backfired on me. He could have gone on and been like a wet lettuce, but he wasn't. I thought he was strong, and I thought the substitution in the end worked out okay.
I think we have to mention the stand. It looks impressive. Could you give us your view?
Well, I think it's hard to say really, to put it into words. I would think that for supporters who've been here as long as me, and some have been here 4 or 5 times as long as I've been here, it's something they never ever thought was possible, and it's a source of great pride to us.
Do you think this makes you into a recognised First Division club?
I think it makes us into a recognised football club, let alone First Division club. It makes us into a proper football club, yeah. Well, it's the stadium. We've never called it a stadium before, and it's a stadium, and it's really nice and neat and tidy, and it's well enough for us at this moment, and it is. It just gives us pride, and we've never had real pride in our stadium before. We've got pride in our stadium, we've got pride in our training ground, we've got pride in the AstroTurf down the road, and when we build our indoor training area, we'll have pride in that as well.
Neil Savell, first of all, Neil, you must be very pleased this evening on getting your first goal for the club on your return.
Yeah, delighted. When I was there last time, I didn't play that much, but didn't manage to score then neither, so, you know, it's nice to be off the mark.
Talk us through the goal.
Just saw the space really break in front of me. Mark Rivers played a nice ball through to me, and, you know, seen the corner open, so just decided to go for it, and gladly it went there.
In midfield, you seem to be forging a partnership with Phil Charnock.
Yeah, everything's, you know, going okay at the moment. Obviously, didn't really expect to start in the team, you know, at the start of the season, but been given me a chance to feel it.
Talks about your strength in midfield. Do you find, after stepping up a division, that you've still got that?
Well, at the moment, things are going okay. Obviously, we've not really played any of the top sides, but seem to be doing okay. So hopefully, you know, I can just stay in the side.
Is it a big change for Macclesfield?
Well, they're along similar lines, really. Macclesfield like to play football as well, so, you know, it's not really a great change in the style of football that we're playing.
Well, how do you view the new stadium? Because obviously as somebody that's been here and seen the old Gresty Road, to come back and see this fantastic new stand, it must really make you feel you're at a different club.
Yeah, it's superb. It is, you know, it looks like, you know, it's a big club now. From, you know, when I was there last time, things have progressed. Something amazing now, you know, from the training ground right through to the new stand and everything. It's superb. Really, I'm not really, you know, I don't really score many goals, 4 or 5 a season. So hopefully, I can just, my target really is just to stay in the side at the moment and keep doing okay. And hopefully, you know, I'll stay in there and do a decent job in there.
And what about Gary O'Grady? How would you view him as a manager?
Oh, he's second to none, really. I mean, his tactics and everything's down to the finest detail. So, you know, all the lads are prepared well, and you know what they're doing when they go out there.
But Crewe got the perfect start at St Andrews. Colin Crabb with his first league goal for the club and his second of the season. And what a peach of a goal it is. Crewe's lead, though, was short-lived. Just on 13 minutes, Birmingham back level. Gary Rout with the free kick. 10 minutes later and Crewe are finally behind. Incessant Birmingham pressure and Lazaridis with a perfect cross for John McCarthy to head his way past Kearton. Any hopes of Crewe coming back from the deficit were quickly and utterly abandoned, as Birmingham, playing some neat precision football, again found plenty of space. Gary Rout with the overlapping run that defeated Colin Little, the nod down by Hughes, and the finish was emphatic by Paul Furlong. 3-1. The second half was much a case of what had gone before in the first, as Kearton had to face a near Alamo procession of shots and chances on the target. He produces an excellent stop there from Paul Furlong, but can't deny David Holdsworth, who's the first to the rebound. Crewe's heaviest defeat of the season finished 3 minutes from time, and again it was down to some poor defensive play that allows the sub Peter Unlove the chance to finish and get Birmingham's 5th goal. Final score, Crewe 1, Birmingham 5.
Norwich are off the bottom of the First Division following their 2-1 win over Crewe at Carrow Road. Ewan Roberts gave Norwich the start they wanted with a goal after just 20 minutes. But Norwich have a habit of giving away soft goals, and Malky Mackay's slip promptly presented Colin Crown with the chance to equalise. Norwich then brought on Darren Eadie, who's now back to full fitness after surgery on a knee, and he marked his return with the dramatic winner just 6 minutes from time. Norwich 2, Crewe 1.
Remember, the side started with 4 games undefeated, but since the draw against Grimsby, things haven't gone as well as planned. David Johnson now, after the ball played through from Holland. The rebound should be in from Naylor, but it's stopped spectacularly by David Wright. Corley keen to just clear the lines and give his defence an important breather. And that ball from Cram has given Lunt the chance, that is well stopped by Richard Wright, who's not a clue where the ball is. Venus is the one who looks to be hitting it, though. Oh, and it's gone straight in. Well, I don't know if Jason Kearton couldn't see where the ball was going. It certainly did seem to defeat him with the way that it went in. He'll have to wait a few more minutes, though, before he brings on his first change. As Crewe took the free kick quite quickly. Savell, now for Kenny Lunt. The header from Rivers is kept out inspirationally by Richard Wright. He's had very little to do this evening, Richard Wright. O'Grady does have 1 change left if he wants to use it, and I'm sure that at some point he will make that final change as Mark Rivers and scores. Out of nothing, Crewe have got themselves level. Mark Rivers, after the work from Colin Crabb, had set him free, and Richard Wright is defeated after previously being exceptional. Smith with Crewe's 6th corner of the evening, and it's headed back across by Macaulay and in surely by Little. Yes,
Colin Little grabs what could be a vital strike here in this first leg of the Worthington Cup. At the third attempt, he finally got it across the line for what is only his second of the season.
Who are second from bottom of the First Division. Crewe in danger of going into the bottom three for the first time this season if they lose today. Well, Crewe have had a knack this season of scoring goals at times when you've not expected them, and they've certainly shown resilience in the way that they've come up trumps when put it to the test by goals against. And as yet this season they've not actually gone a game without scoring, cup or league. And this man has been in splendid form. Mark Rivers in possession with his back to goal, but he has Phil Charnock in support. Kenny Lunt. Oh, that's lots of room for Kevin Street. Can he get it to the second attempt? He can, and it's deflected in. Kevin Street, with his first of the season, gives Crewe the perfect early tonic with a goal 12 minutes in. It looked as if his chance had gone when the save from Tarley had been made, but when the rebound came his way, there was no denying the man. Oh, there's three Crewe players now. One is Crabb, and Tarley at his near post had to get down to that shot from Colin Crabb. The advantage could have been played then as Colin Little had made an excellent move, as he's done here. The quick ball will find him. Little, oh, he's within an inch. 5 goals so far this season for Colin Little, and that was within an inch of being 6. Oh no, with the 10th corner of the game, and Walters is there to head it in. No, it was Nadar. The goal has been given. Nadar has managed to equalise with some 20 minutes left of this game. Given a lesson in how to centrally defend by George Nadar. And I don't think it's helping the fact that Sean Smith and Lee Unsworth at times are picking up George Nadar. Crabb. The loose ball is with Kenny Lunt. Lunt stepping through, seemed to be brought down and was. The referee's given the spot kick for the challenge by Gareth Davis, and Crewe have a golden opportunity to give themselves the lead back. Crewe Alexandra's captain with the opportunity to give his side the lead with some 15 minutes left. It's his first spot kick of the season. He had a 100% success rate last term. How will he start this? Oh, he's 100% successful again. Sean Smith with his first of the season, his first goal at the new Alexandra Stadium, gives Crewe the lead once more. And he's now going to get the signal from Mr. Richards. I can't see it being much more than the first half, in that we will have maybe 2 minutes of stoppage time as Mark Walters goes to the near post. His splendid drive needed to be tipped away, and was done so with some effect by Jason Kearton.
Gary, you must be very pleased with the result this evening.
Yes, I am. You know, it's a game, I said beforehand, we want to be trying and winning these games. Last year we didn't, and you know, with no disrespect to Swindon, I expect them to be in the second half of the league, and I expect us to be in that as well. Now we've both got to play better than we've been playing, I would think, to get into the top half. So if you've got a chance to take the points, which, you know, like an evens chance, I would think we're, as a club, we're not that far behind Swindon now, and whereas we're probably behind Bolton, Forest and a few of those.
There seemed at one point to be a turning point in the game, especially when Swindon equalised, and then you changed your tactics.
Well, we were pretty drab in the second half, I thought, and we'd been dangerous in the first half without playing great football, but we'd been dangerous. We weren't looking dangerous. The front players were, you know, fizzling out a bit and not keeping possession very well. So I thought that the back three were getting on top of them, and we'd play a third forward up there to see if they wanted to play even numbers. They didn't. I think he was happy with the point at that stage and brought a player back, so that changed the game, and I thought that the fellow who definitely was our best player anyway made the goal and got a goal.
Kenny Lunt does seem to be improving, doesn't he?
Yes. We've always thought of him as an outstanding youngster, and he was at the Lilleshall School, but and he came in early 2 years ago and did very well. So he was disappointing last year, and but kids are like that. So we just put him in the under-19s and left him alone, really. He's worked very hard at the weights in the summer, like many of them, and he does look that bit stronger. Maybe it's a coincidence, maybe not. and he looked stronger, more thrustful. Against Ipswich, he was getting back and heading the ball to the goalkeeper and still getting up, you know, in the forward line as well. So, yeah, we look as though we've got a good player on it. It's a super board. It's the same board that were here when I came, and the chairman, in particular, John Bowler, has worked very hard to get what he says the off the pitch side of it right, and he's been able to do that because we've developed players and brought some money in, and we've spent it sensibly, I think. So we're now a decent club. I think we're at one time we had a board meeting and we were debating going part-time, and we almost went part-time. You know, that's in my time here. That would have been the end of Crewe, really. Fortunately, we've been able to produce players. That's really been the key to it, and that's you know, I'm proud of the achievement. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've only just started. We've got a sports hall to build. That's £1 million. That will necessitate another player going somewhere along the way, but they go anyway. So once we've done that, we then will be able to invest in our team. I don't mean invest by going and buying a lot of expensive players, but we'll probably be able to pay our players that little bit more, which helps to keep them here. You know, it doesn't stop them going off to Derby and Liverpool, but it perhaps stops them going off to Huddersfield, or, you know, Rob Edwards went to Huddersfield, Martin Booty went to Reading. No, they all went for more wages, and those sort of players we ought to be able to try and keep.
Well, I knew that their keeper were obviously going to try to put us off the way he did complain to the referee. It's just a case of getting it down and putting it where you want to put it, and I never thought about missing.
It seemed a definite penalty, the challenge on them.
Oh yeah, I thought it was definitely a penalty, but I feel with the how much we were in control of the game, it should have been more. We had the chances, especially first half, to be easily winners.
That it's stronger in certain areas or weaker in certain areas than last season?
Obviously, when players go for how many millions of pounds to Premiership teams, your team's bound to be weaker. But you know, I don't think it's that much weaker. There's still a great spirit in the club, and we're still always working hard in training, you know, to get things right and to get our style of play right. But obviously, when you take the quality of players out of the team that we've especially lost, you're going to miss them. But you know, the people that come in are working just as hard as they were to get things right, and we'll always keep trying to make sure that we're going in the right way.
Croft, who's expected to make his debut in Sunday's game against the First Division leaders Manchester City, was at Portman Road last night to see Ipswich go out of the League Cup. James Scowcroft gave Ipswich the lead to make the score 2-2 on aggregate. But with the tie heading towards extra time and Ipswich well on top, a slip by Jamie Clapham enabled Crewe to snatch a breakaway goal with less than 3 minutes of normal time remaining. Mark Rivers scored the goal, which made it 1-1 and sent Crewe through 3-2 on aggregate.
Looking for sort of, you know, professional performances, and you can't give away those type of goals and win games, and I'm very unhappy with the way we conceded it.
Clark is settled, but Fulham don't want to settle in the First Division. They're aiming for the top flight. Things are going well so far. They defended their unbeaten record with ease against Crewe, with Clark controlling the game from midfield. His work helped set up Jeff Horsfield for his 6th goal of the season, and Crewe's railwaymen were on the wrong track after 9 minutes. Out injured for 3 weeks, his replacement, Barry Hales, took his chance to impress, heading the second. Clark again with the assist. The game was effectively over before half-time. Kit Simons met the corner with a great header. Visiting keeper Jason Kearton beat him for the 3rd time. Fulham have never been behind in a game this season. Confidence at the Cottage is high. Stan Collymore was given the last 25 minutes to impress, and he produced the best effort of a slow second half. Fulham's challenge, though, is gathering pace. 12 games without defeat equals the club record start by a new manager, but he can handle Swindon. Bolton's win has moved them up 4 places. Norwich have climbed 2. Wolves have dropped into the bottom 4.
Dario, you've already seen one game this morning. What happened?
Yes, the under-14s. I mean, I take the under-14s on Sundays. That's my Sunday job. not letting you lot interfere with that. Yeah, they won 2-0. They didn't win many games last year, and they've now won 3 out of 4, so they're getting good spirit in the team now.
Well, let's turn to this one now. First of all, how important is it that you win your home games given your position?
Well, I've had that ever since we've been in this league. You know, we've got to win our home games, and that would keep us up. We've never managed to do that. We've ended up having to win some, very spectacular away results we've had in the last 2 years, particularly last year. We're trying for that. We try to win all our games, and the hard part for the team has been that there's been so many changes. Every year there's at least 3, maybe 4 changes, and enforced changes, and you have to sort of start again with people in positions and trying to find out exactly what the best way is to use the players at my disposal and to get the best out of them.
Back to Taylor. Allison waiting 8 yards from goal. Oh, it's hit the post! Rivers looking to get on the end of it, and again Achterberg has come this time out of his area and manages to recover. Cram being watched by Challoner. Goes Smith's corner, Ferran climbs, and Achterberg holding on at the second attempt.
Well, he's a guy in the team, the Crewe side, with the height, and Achterberg maybe a little bit fortunate, comes straight to him. He's a big tower, he starts to come the goal, he stops. Well, there's not enough power to beat the Dutchman.
Scottish eventually finished the campaign 15th and some 9 points clear of danger. This is Rivers, and Cram is free if he can find him, and he has. Oh.
Very unlucky. What you got to look for here, Rob, is Challoner standing ball watching. Rivers peels away from him, comes inside, picks out Cram, and this is just a whisker past that far post from Achterberg. Good touch from Cram. You see the tug, it's outside the box. Cram thinks he's beaten the goalie.
Cleared by Hill.
I thought Wright was in there as well, Rob, wasn't he?
This is Cram, he's played it round to Rivers. Rivers has lashed it over. He just got a yard on Challoner then, did not. Challoner with the throw. And Curtin reaching out to push it away.
I tell you what, Rob, all of a sudden Challoner's just wound himself up. There's been a couple of short ones early, then there's 2 at the near post. Look at this one. That's to the far post. And Curtin, wow, could have been all sorts of problems there. What a throw this is, well, wet ball.
Grant keeps the pressure up with a corner. Allison! That was a thunderous header. He found the gap at the far post. Sorber. This is Grant. And McCauley has to be careful here, and Allison's got through and buries his second of the afternoon.
Right foot. But McCauley could attack that without letting it bounce. The centre forward says thank you very much and plants it past Curtin. Curtin no chance. Yeah, there's a bit of a push. Referee lets it.
One win here in the league at the Alexandra Stadium. It's not crisis time yet for Crewe, but Dario knows his second home defeat in 7 days will leave his Threadbird squad even more exposed. Savell. Now Kenny Lunt. The touch on will find Colin Little, who has spotted Cram in lots of space. That's a deep ball for Mark Rivers, who just can't direct the ball on target. If the recovery job had been done by Charnock, he's now in possession, but again he too will have to fight his way forward. Lunt takes it off him to try and help his fellow midfielder out, and Savell has adopted a far better position. Colin Crabb now. They're waiting in the centre, but Crabb might fancy this opportunity himself. The rebound should come for Savell, and it's deflected in. Neil Serrell's second goal of the season in the league, his second goal at the Alexandra Stadium, and it gives Crewe the lead 16 minutes in. Kenny Lunt, down to David Wright. Oh, that's a great ball in. Little with the first incessant effort. He managed to work his magic on this flank.
Lunt has gone looking for David Wright, who has done just that with the overlapping run that will supply Mark Rivers. Oh, what a wonderful save from Simon Tracy. They already have the lead thanks this afternoon to Neil Savell, but they would love to have it doubled, and Sean Smith has come within a whisker of doing just that. Emphasised to his side is that a second goal would really help the confidence and the consolidation in this game. Conceding an early one, though, would just do the total opposite. So he managed to do it. Devlin now has possession. Derry. It's a great ball in, and Woodhouse is the first to it. The equaliser should be there, but unfortunately for Kachura, isn't. It will go down as one of those misses of the season for Peter Kachura. Through the legs of Derry, and now brings in David Wright. Could David Wright seal it? Oh, another splendid save from Simon Tracy. And you can see his eagerness to go to the byline and take Crewe on. He's managed to get the ball into Kachura. Kachura stepping through. Savell was close to bringing him down. Then Morris went on. The referee is having none of the appeals from Sheffield. Wright playing the ball through for Mark Rivers, who has a step on Sean Murphy. Can he seal it? Oh, again, Simon Tracy in super form this afternoon.
They're all important points. We lost 3 points last week, and that was important. This is important. Next week's important. Everything's important. Yeah, it was nice to get the points, especially as we'd made so many chances in the first half that the game should have been wrapped up. But we decided to open it up a bit second half. I wasn't too complimentary at half time, so that obviously worked because we came out and played a lot worse than we played in the first half. Gave them a lot of chances, I thought. Gave them chances where we were trying to play people offside, and we weren't playing them offside. Really, their poor finishing in the end stopped them from getting something out of it. We still had 2 chances in the second half where we could have made it safe and didn't. It was one of those games, I think, where the quality of the play, the quality of our play was better than theirs in the first half, and the quality of their play was better than ours in the second half, and the finishing throughout was not very good.
By Neil Savell that was stabbed in.
Yeah.
Colin Cram did ever so well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Just give us a word about his contribution.
Yeah. Well, that was his contribution, and he did very well for that. Started the game brightly. Didn't do the defending particularly well. Had a go at it. He's not quite sure whether he's coming to go in some of the time, I think, and perhaps I'm not helping him that way. But he's got a presence on there, and you always think he's likely to do something. But again, I think people feel he's playing better than I think he is, and he's got to keep the ball better for us, and I think he's got to defend better than us. The fullback was getting out in the first half, and then when I played him centre forward, the centre half was getting out, and but he works very hard. And although he's got a temperament, and although might have a few words, he's usually back in and smiling on Monday morning, and we get back on working. So it's interesting. He's an interesting challenge. He really is an interesting challenge. I've got a great desire to improve him as a player, and I know it's certainly not going to be as easy as dealing with one of my young players. David is a typical Crewe player, I think, who's come up through the system and can do a bit of everything. He can attack, he can defend, he can pass, he can run. What's made the difference for him is he's picked up some pace in his later years. As he's coming into adulthood, as it were, and that's made a lot of difference to him. That pace, and that's given him a lot of confidence. Now we've just got to improve on his qualities. Defending's excellent. He's just got to improve on the quality of his passing, and the finished article. He had a super ball in the first half. And that's the quality we're after. So, yeah, he's got a good chance of improving. He's not there yet. He's got to keep working and improving. But he's good to work with. There's a difference between him and Crammy is that I can be critical of David, and he'll come back straight away, with a good response, which is what again, it's because I'm used to him and he's used to me. Cram is a little bit more temperamental than that, and a senior player, but in their different way they both present the same challenge. I've got to try and improve this team. I'm not going to change it, and there's not going to be 5 new players in between now and Christmas, that's for certain. So I've got to try and improve this team, and that means working on the players.
Very happy about the way things have gone this afternoon.
Yeah, we're happy with the 3 points mainly. We didn't play maybe too well in the football we wanted to play, but I think the main thing today was getting 3 points.
The goal that you got came a little fortuitously, but Colin Cram seems to be putting himself about to good effect at the moment.
Yeah, he's a good player, Cole, very skillful, and when he gets in, he does cause a lot of trouble.
Now, defensively, there was 1 or 2 moments that left us a little bit bemused. I'm sure you had your view on the miss by Couture.
Well, we tried to play the offside, me and Mark Fran, and the line missed it. It's come across. I think he's just got it under his feet, and then I think he's just fell over it and it's gone out of play. Bit of good luck for us there.
It was a little fortunate, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You had a chance yourself as well at one point, where we thought you were going to seal the game.
Yeah. I come down the wing and I tried to hit it across him. So I bend the outside of the foot and hit it across him. But that's why I'm a defender, I think, so can't finish them chances.
A few weeks ago with David Johnson, how much does playing against players like that help bring your game up?
Obviously David's he's worth £5 million and a few Premier League teams after him. So playing against better players, you've got to improve yourself. And I think I improved after playing against him. I think made a big difference.
We'd have to mention what the manager's had as an influence on your career. Just tell us how important Dario Gradi is to you.
Well, I think this is my 10th season now, so been here since I was 9, so it's a long time. He's taken me all the way through. So obviously he's had a massive influence on me and bringing me through into the first team.
Just what are the little things that he does when you're a child growing up in a club like this?
Well, mainly you learn a lot of skill work when you're little. A lot of technique. He works a lot of technique, and I think and then as you get older, he starts bringing in, you're defending properly, and I think he's got it right. Obviously, he's got it right because the players he's brought through.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is that all the full-time coaches are involved. The assistant manager takes the under-16s, the youth coach, the academy director, as he's now called. He takes everything from under-12s downwards. His assistant takes the under-13s. So everybody's working with a team. So we don't have part-time coaches coming in that we have to try and coach into our way. So I think it's the best coaches work. No particular reason for me taking the under-14s. I could take any of them. One of the significant things at under-14 is I think they start the under-14s as kids, and they end up the season as young men. It's an age where they grow up a lot, I think, in the under-14 year. And the advantage of actually taking them is that through thick and thin, and not just an occasional training session, is that they get used to that little bit of criticism, that demand, the way I am, if you like. I mean, I'd be easier with them than the pros, but not a great deal. And they get used to that, and they have to stand up to it and with it, and then they come through it. And you find you've actually established a relationship that lasts forever. So then they go their way with the under-15s and 16s. I still take them for training sometimes, but not particularly for games. But I still feel as though I know them and they know me. And nothing much changes, although 1 or 2 do. But nothing much changes. The type of kid they are at 14, they still are at 16. Not always. There are some exceptions to that. So then, when you're talking to River and David Wright, as I am, we just know each other and we know what to expect from each other.
Crewe were up against the cup holders Tottenham and put up a brave performance at White Hart Lane. They held the Londoners goalless for 55 minutes before Ovid Leonardson opened the scoring. Last year's Player of the Year, David Ginola, hadn't scored so far this season, but he saved his best for the Railwayman. His run ending in a shot with his weaker left foot. Some weakness. But on closer inspection, his shot was far from unstoppable. His running with the ball is always a joy to watch, but look out for Crewe keeper Jason Kearton. He thought it was going wide. Kearton's face told the real story. But the prospect of a Crewe fight back was placed on the agenda when a Colin Cram 1-2 with Colin Little ended in a former Bristol City man being upended in the box. Referee Clive Wilkie had no doubt despite the Tottenham protests. The replay shows Cram was a little dramatic. Nevertheless, there was contact. Sean Smith has been known to score from the halfway line in his time. He wasn't going to miss from 12 yards. But the game was effectively killed off by a man who may well figure in Kevin Keegan's plans for the matches against Scotland. Tim Sherwood's goal was typical of his scoring ability from midfield. Keegan is looking for more goals from that department. He could do a lot worse than the former Blackburn man. That goal came with just 2 minutes left, ending Crewe's giant-killing hopes.
Oh, and there's a... Oh, and it's off the line. Good play again by Jack. He's taken 2 county players on, he's still in possession. That was a great effort from Jack. Shane Nicholson that had come forward. Crewe now on the break. Jack. Street. Oh dear, and another player. Great goal, great finish. Well, it was Shane Nicholson, the Stockport County defender, that slipped. Two minutes to shout from the 4th official. County with time running out at the end of this first half. Great control. Oh yes! And Sean Connolly it is. Flynn with a throw. And oh, it's in. Everybody, and Jaffo finds the back of the net.
Crewe's trip to the Reebok Stadium had added importance with the arrival of Sam Allardyce as the new Bolton Wanderers manager. That after a fantastic caretaker performance by Phil Brown. Rodney Jack had an inspired evening when these two teams had met last season. Crewe coming out 3-1 winners in what proved to be a critical win in their campaign to stay in Division 1. And he could have got them off to a perfect start in this game, and unable to finish from 8 yards. Colin Todd may have gone, but Andy Todd is still a Bolton Wanderers player through and through, though you would begrudge him a little look of concern after missing that chance. Bolton had another clear opportunity before Crewe took theirs. This is Gudjonsson laying the ball on for Ricardo Gardner, the Jamaican international, to hit the bar. It was from another forte forward from the Wanderers that Crewe got the lead. The ball breaking for Rodney Jack, who we've come to expect to do something special in these situations. He took the ball some fully 60 yards before thrashing it past the keeper. A tremendous strike, his first league goal of the campaign. Just watch this again, the composure of Jack, and then the swerve with the shot that leaves the keeper with no chance. If ever there was a case for perseverance, it comes here from Gudjonsson. This is first effort, well saved by Kearton. But within a minute, the opportunity is there again for him, and this time he's not to be denied, and Bolton are level. The forward line of Little, Jack and Cram on the evening produced a number of other opportunities, as well as the 2 goals. This falling for Colin Cram, who just can't get the ball in. Dean Holdsworth has had his critics in the Bolton camp, but he celebrated his new manager's arrival with a goal in his first game. Ricardo Gardner hoofing the ball back in after Kearton had been caught at sea, and Holdsworth slamming the ball in Wimbledon-style fashion. And at this moment in proceedings, Dario Gradi must have thought that this was a case of deja vu for his Crewe side that had just started to come unstuck in Division 1. But again, they showed perseverance as first Rodney Jack, with that effort well saved. And then after the header back by Macaulay, Colin Little sees his effort cleared off the line by Holdsworth, who's back in a defensive job now. But Crewe were not to be denied on the evening. Jensen with a poor ball that deflects off him after it's played into him by Todd. And Little's through pass catches the keeper all at sea, the Finnish international left exposed, and Rodney Jack gets his second goal of the game. In the 3-1 win last season, Jack had 2 goals, and he really does love the Reebok Stadium, doesn't he? Let's watch this second goal once more, and look at the hesitation of the goalkeeper. He really should have been quicker off his line. And Rodney Jack, once given a half sniff of an opportunity, was not...
Home sweet home. After 3 away games without a win, Crewe have an important 4-day period here at the new Alexandra Stadium. Possession again though. Jack has once more peeled away on this far side. Now he's got Savell making the move. He might fancy his opportunities himself. Oh, wonderful ball in, and Little just can't direct it into goal.
It could though be Scott Jones. He goes to strike this ball. And it's not a bad effort. It bounces at Kearton and stood up and had to be palmed away. Bigness had stayed forward and has now had the opportunity to play Cram in. Once again, Crewe with plenty of players overlapping. Cram steps inside the first challenge, now tries to tee people up. It will come for Charnock. Little, in trying to get in front of the keeper, can't reach the ball. Dyer has possession as he takes it off the toe of Sabel. Hignett into space after the ball from Dyer. There's plenty of options. Shipley with a 1-2 with him, and what a finish for the ex-Crewe man. A super goal from Craig Hignett. Had class stamped all over it. Dyer started it, Hignett took it on, Shipley with the deft touch, and Barnsley have the lead with the thunderous finish by Craig Hignett. The space is there for Bernard. It's checked by Kevin Street, who seemed to be fouled. Bernard has been waved on by the referee, Mr. Oliver. Shipley with a header down, it deflects off the side of the post. The other Smith, Sean, ready for the first corner of the second half for the Alex. They need something from it. The free header from right foot could bring it Crewe's way. Now with Cram, in goes Little, and the header out by Morgan keeps the scoreline in favour of Barnsley. Little, after the ball played through, Colin Little in front of Kevin Miller, who handles the ball. He must surely go, and now Crewe have a chance. The referee reaches for the pocket. It must be red and is. Barnsley down to 10 men. Little was clean through. Kevin Miller deliberately touched it with his hands, and suddenly the complexion of the game has changed, and it goes completely full circle now. And Dario immediately tells his subs to put their shirts back on. Back inside, the 4th of this second half. And again, they've got the big men forward. It's a deep cross that Street heads off the line. That would have been a certain second goal for the Yorkshire side. It could yet still be if Crewe can't clear. Smith, though, should do it now. Come forward again for this corner kick. It's the 3rd now for the Fulham side, and they've managed to get the opening goal of the game from it. Chris Coleman, the Welsh international, after an awful header out from the Crewe defence, handed it on a plate. Cram works it infield to Kenny Lunt. The space now with Bigness. It needs to be moved, and needs to be moved quickly. And Marcus Bignett's tearing like a hare. And that's a super ball in that comes for Colin Little. Oh, what a time to score your 7th of the season. Colin Little, the leading scorer after the deflected cross from Bignett, poaches in to give Crewe right on half-time a lifeline. They have to get something from this game tonight, and really they could do with all 3. Little could now produce it though. Look at this, he's dispossessed Chris Coleman, and he can't finish the deflection though, takes the ball wide. Are you sure? Jack takes possession and plays it through to Colin Cram. What could Cram do from here? Steps inside the challenge, tees up Little, who flashes the shot just wide.
second. Now here's Dave Challoner, he of the Exocet throw, creating the first for Clint Hill. Now, are these more difficult to defend against and better for forwards than corner kicks? I mean, they're enormous throws.
I think so, you know. I mean, I think he'll probably get more accuracy as well. He knows where he's throwing it. Nobody go high and dip at the last minute. So.
And they know as well, obviously, don't they, the players in the box?
Yeah, I think it's if you're playing against them sort of throws, I mean, I don't think it'll be nice. Little gaps in the Odins and everything for him around Prenton Park.
Wayne Allison, 6 and 8, the chief as they call him.
Well, there's just no easy games in Division 1 this season, is there? If Fulham, Bolton and Barnsley weren't enough in recent weeks, tonight sees last season's Premiership performance, Charlton, third in Division 1. Savell, Henry Collins, inside of the challenge from Jones, who has support as well outside of him with his fullback Smith. And that's a great ball over the top for Colin Little, who's in behind. It goes over the keeper, but will be cleared by Eddie Yodes. Pringle after the knockdown from Hunt, and there's space for him. It's been cut off by Smith, but look at the support and goal for the captain. He's been played in, Graham Stewart, to get the opening goal of the game. It will come straight back to him though. And his ball over the top gives Colin Cram something to think about. He has support as well behind from Little, which he's holding the ball up and drawing the man in, and now feeds Colin Little, who should have finished. Another Collins, now Charnock, has been dispossessed by the captain Kinsella. There's the move now of Andy Hunt. Again, warning signs for Crewe, and here's Pringle with the second. It was simple enough, wasn't it, when it came? Just as simple as the first, just as precise. And the Australian international defeats his fellow countryman, Jason Kearton. Otherwise, it's another long evening for Dario Gradi's team. Rodney Jack now with the ball. He's played Colin Little in. There isn't an offside flag. Little's ball in, should find Colin Cram, who should have scored. Corley is the man to reach the header. Downward by Lightfoot. It is right on the line. Can he Cram then with the loose shot? And gain a free kick. Now Charnock over the top for Savell's low ball there. This one's a little deeper. Little is nearest to it. And what a fabulous tip over by Dean Kiley. Well, he hasn't been asked to do much this evening.
At Vale Park. And here's a statistic to encourage the home supporters this evening. Port Vale have lost only one of their last 20 league games against Crewe.
Dario, with two sides at the wrong end of the table, how important is tonight's game?
I get that asked every week. It's amazing, isn't it? Well, it's only as important as every game, really. With every game, we try to win. We try to play properly. If we knew what we had to do to win, you know, we could change things to win, we'd probably do it. But we think our best chance of winning games is to get better at doing what we do, which is trying to play football when we get the ball and defend sensibly and properly. We spend a lot of time on defending. Defend properly when they get the ball.
So corner then to Crewe, as McCauley waits. Bit of jostling in there. And Smith will get another chance here. High and deep towards McCauley, and it just clipped the top of the bar with Snyders. Minton. Well, that's a poor one. Great chance here for Little, and he smacked the outside of the post. The second time Crewe have hit woodwork tonight. Colin Little, great chance. He couldn't quite sneak it inside that post. Struck it fiercely enough, but not straight enough. Forward by Smith. Well, they should have this. Always let Rodney Jack in. And that was a glorious chance gone begging. He was well wide with it in the end. Snyders, good save. Super reactions from Jason Kearton. Rivers. Keen to impress as he's come on off the bench. This is Sauveur. Might try his luck from that range, and he did. And it needed a very solid tip over from Musselwhite. A very crisp strike from Sauveur. the goalkeeper had to watch it all the way. Carragher. Naylor, look at the space he's got. That's in towards Foyle, and Rougier on the far post to score. 1-0 Port Vale lead. It should have been Foyle's goal. It was Rougier's. It's taken 75 minutes, but it looks like he's thanking someone high up there.
Port Vale's win over Crewe lifts them off the bottom, plunging the Cheshire club into further trouble, but they've a match in hand on some of their rivals. Swindon are now at the foot of the table, like Crewe, a point behind both Walsall and Crystal Palace.
Bottom of the First Division, Dario Gradi's men needed something from this game at Fratton Park, and if they were to get all three, they knew that they would have to play extremely well. Guy Whittingham was the nearest to a goal in the first half, early stages. But then out of the blue came a bit of magic from the man though off pitch now, Rodney Jack. At times you have to count on your playmakers to come up with plays. And with the St Vincent international, you know that he's going to produce a little bit of magic every so often. And that certainly was something special. Unfortunately, Rodney Jack will get injured later in the game. It was after this game that Portsmouth lost three crucial players, McLaughlin, Perron and Simpson, as well as their manager, Alan Ball. After Moore's clearance here, Paul Tate scores his first of the season and seals the 3 points for Dario Gradi's team. And doesn't he enjoy it? And the relief on the players is clear to all to see. They know how important this victory is. Collins. Waiting for more movement. It's come from Little, who lets the ball go for Tate. Now Colin Little with a deflected shot that goes inches wide. It was so nearly his 7th of the season. Three Crewe players around him. He opts for Simon Grayson. His ball in is intended for Ashley Ward. It's down now for Carsley, and the deflection off the post takes it wide. Here's River again. Now Charnock. The movement forward from Savell is met by the knockdown that could come for Colin Little, who chips it over the keeper, Alan Kelly. Little on by Rivers. Here's Savell, and now here's Paul Tate. A golden opportunity for Tate, who couldn't make a decent enough connection. Collins. It's still with Crewe, and they've plenty of shirts forward. Collins might go it himself. The deflection takes the ball inches wide again. McAteer, Franson. Well, there's plenty of space for Per Franson, and that shot is a fantastic strike that comes off the inside of the bar, and Kearton, who saw the shot deflect off, no down for Colin Little, who has room if he wants to shoot, is instead fed Paul Tate, who's teed up James Collins. Collins going for goal and nearly getting the glory.
I mean, they're good side, got good players. I know they're not doing so well, but and that perhaps showed a little bit, and a little bit of lack of confidence they had, but nevertheless they were still they're good players, and kept possession well, passed the ball better than us, and were hard to break down. But we gave them a game, and we were hard to beat. We've been better defensively. I don't want to get too carried away with that, but it's important, I think, for us to be able to defend well. We've worked hard on it again. Still a few things we've got to do to improve. We'd like to improve a little bit up front if we can, but it's hard. You know, with neither Rodney or River really getting a run at the moment. I mean, we really are looking, we're really expecting those two to be two of our best players, you know, and we need our best players. We can't, you know, they take Austin Tad off, is it, and put Blake on. You know, well, we can't do that, and therefore the fast fellas up front would make a difference to us. But James, although I wouldn't pick him there probably, I don't mind an excuse to put him out there, because he's got good feet, he can beat people, he can do the unexpected, and he can take a goal. And also, he almost did. He almost nicked him with a goal at the end, and that's not a surprise. He's you know, he's got that ability to score goals. You George Burley was talking to me about Jermaine Wright and saying he doesn't take a goal or doesn't want to take a goal, and we were working hard with him on that, but he hasn't particularly his career shown that, whereas James has.
Take great confidence from the competing with players who are millionaire standard.
Yeah, I think they. It's like one of the stewards at Portsmouth after the game. I mean, they were very good, the stewards, and the supporters. As I went up the stand to talk to the radio, I must have been 10 people, different times, said, "Well played and well done." And one of them said to me, "It was a bit like the boys playing the dads today." He said, "And the boys won." And I think that's a good compliment to them. And that's how we'll be here. I think that's how we'll be for a while. We'll be a young team, and it's my ambition really to have a young team, of mostly our kids, to be able to not only get a result like that, but play better than Blackburn and win these sort of games. And we're moving towards that. We're not such a long way off that. We've just got a year or two to try and just develop the players that we've got here enough to just do that a little bit better than we've done
before. We should mention what the under 18s managed to achieve in the last week.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a terrific achievement. Steve said to me if they'd lost, he said, I still would have been delighted with the way they played. He said the first half was a terrific performance, really good display, good football. He said they were good as well, which we knew they would be, because Chelsea worked hard with the kids, on having a good youth scheme. But we know we've got some good kids coming through, and we took 13 of them, and I think we only get funding for 6. So people want me to buy players. Well, I've bought them. I've bought the kids. That's really what we've done. We're paying the money on developing the kids, and they'll come through. There's a good group there that are going to play in the team. I'm not quite sure how good they're going to be, but they're going to be good enough to play for Crewe's first team. Quite a few of them, I would think, and some a little bit older than that as well, that are still waiting their chance.
As we watch the goals from Ipswich Crewe, Brian, are you a great admirer of Dario Gradi? Because, of course, when you retired, he became the longest-serving manager at one club.
Well, that's incredible in itself, that fact, because to stay a long time in the job I had has got to be brilliant. Dario used to drive me crackers, but he saved me going to sleep in the car after a match, because he used to send me to sleep talking to me after a match. But he was lovely with it. And he'd got to be part foreigner. I think his old man was Italian, and he used to talk like that, despite of being in this country a long, long time. But he was a very pleasant man to get on with, and I'm glad he survived. Good. And he's earned his survival.
Good. Just for the record.
His chip could go in and has. It's Paul Tate's second of the season. A super strike from some 30 yards into the top corner. And Fraser Digby was caught cold. And the Alex had the lead inside the opening 10. It's a decent drive from Aidan Mullins, and the rebound needs to be taken by Jason Kearton. They need a second because they've dominated this half without creating very much. Macaulay goes into motion, and that's where the ball is played. Steve Macaulay doubles the lead, his first of the season, and what a splendid 45 minutes for the Alex. Letting the ball run, in comes the header from Rodgers, and the save needed to be made by Jason Kearton. It's in fact Andrew Frampton who's creeped in round the back. Little, edge of the area with support in the form of Kevin Street. What can Street, the substitute, produce? He's nearly got the third. It surely will go in now. Oh, somehow Paul Tate has missed his second of the afternoon. Well, the strike from Street caused undue problems that couldn't be dealt with by Digby. Rivers should have scored. Paul Tate must wonder how he did.
Season. Yeah. How does it feel?
Feels great,
To score my debut was brilliant, but then to score in front of the fans, yeah, it's even better. Especially with it being a 20-yard chip. Don't get many of them.
You seemed to take it well, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I just couldn't get much power into the shot, so I knew I had to chip the keeper to get anything, and luckily enough I got it high. And just went over him. Like, so I think he gave up the keeper. I think he thought it was going over, but just crept in.
It was an impressive one.
Yeah. First half, I thought it was superb. First half, played some great stuff. Second half, maybe could have kept the ball a bit better, but I think we were a bit tired, ran out of steam a little bit.
What happened with the chance underneath the bar in the second half?
What chance? Can't remember that. I've snatched it really. I was stretching. Looking back, I should have just brought it back into play and slotted it in, but I was just stretching really. A bit more composure, I think.
You seem to have confirmed the faith that was put in from your boss, Dario Gradi.
Yeah. He's given us a chance. He took us from non-league. There was a few clubs looking at us, but none of them were prepared to give us a chance, especially first division clubs. And I've just been working hard on my game with Dario and Neil Baker, and it's paying off a little bit now.
Could you tell us something about Dario Gradi that has helped improve your game?
Everything really, just the main thing really, he told us my weaknesses, he told us my strengths, and been working on my strengths. Last season I was doing things what this season I wouldn't dream of doing, because like I can't do them things, you know what I mean? Like, you just, everything really, just picks up on everything.
Excellent. Steve, you don't score many goals, but when they come along, they seem to be side footers that go in the top corner.
Yeah, it's the second goal. I mean, Ipswich one was quite similar, but I mean, I'll take anything that comes along my way. You know, I just like to score goals.
From a defensive point of view, another clean sheet, which must be important.
It's good for team morale actually. You know, if you just concede one goal a game, they'll say, well, it's sound defending, but a clean sheet just has that edge. You know, it's always satisfying for the defence and the goalkeeper. You know, and the midfield, because you people like Tatey, you know, they were defending from the front today, and that helps us a lot.
How important was it with the start of this period where you've got 4 games in 10 days to start it with a win?
It's always important. I mean, whether you're playing 4 games, you know, in a row or just 1 game a week, 3 points is what we need, and that's what we've done today.
Now, the centre-back positions have been switched around quite a few occasions this term so far. Does the David Wright-Steve McCauley partnership suit?
It suits me, yeah, it suits me fine, but unfortunately I don't pick the side. I like playing with Dave because although he's a young lad, he's got, you know, bags of confidence, and you know, he'll go places, Dave, there's no doubt about that, and I enjoy playing with people like that.
Dario Gradi knows it's crucial to win home games, and this one against West Bromwich Albion, just 4 days after the success against Crystal Palace, was vital. Neil Savell, since his arrival from Macclesfield Town, has been a person that can be relied on not only for doing the simple things right, but coming up with goals at vital times. Although he misses out there, watch for him later in the game. Before this match, Dario Gradi had pinpointed Brian Little's team as a side to watch, and if Lee Hughes had taken this opportunity in the first half, the scoreline could have been different at the end of this game. Although the first half remained goalless, there were still more opportunities for the Alex. A quick free kick from Tate nearly releases Collins. And hasn't Paul Tate been in exceptional form this month? 3 goals from 4 games after this strike. A long ball from Smith helps it on its way. Cram's intervention deflects the ball to Paul Tate, who takes his time and coolly slots in. And suddenly striking in the First Division is so simple. And the Geordie should have made it too, as again Smith provided the long ball that causes more chaos in the West Brom defence. This time Tate's effort is cleared off the line by Darryl Burgess. Smith once more providing the long pass, this time for Macaulay, and if he could have squared the ball to Cram, the 3 points would have been wrapped up well before the end. But to be truthful, the 3 points were never really in doubt, as in the second half period, Dario Gradi saw his side create chance after chance. Colin Little with the pick of them that didn't go in, twisting and turning, and then curling the ball onto the inside of the post. We mentioned Neil Savell earlier in this footage, and Neil Savell was at the start of this move. that sees him collect his 4th of the season. Fittingly, Colin Little plays his part, along with another man who's to watch in the future, Kevin Street. His injection of pace taking the play away from Burgess, and Savell's cool finish seals the 3 points, 7 minutes from time. Their 3rd win in 4 games, and all of a sudden, that First Division plight that had seen them drop to the bottom of the division seems a long time.
Good afternoon and welcome to Gresty Road, the home of Crewe Alexandra, for today's 3rd round FA Cup, sponsored by AXA. There was only one team in the second half, but somehow Crewe managed to hold on, and they're holding on at the moment. Ooh, unlucky! Blake doing all the work. And there's a header. That was Sormel. Got there late. They went a goal down to Middlesbrough. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. That ball driven. Chance. Ooh, what a good effort. And that was Tate, a first-time volley. Lawrence stretching. Gets the ball back to Gunnar. Flick on to Blake. To Lawrence. This is better now for Bradford City, but he had Mills to his right, but the ball falls kindly for Peter Beagrie. Yes! Robbie Blake, we finally got it. A little bit untidy. The ball skidded about. So it's Crewe now on the break. Sean Smith. Oh, he evades the challenge of Mills and then... Ooh! Well... Then loses out to Lunt. That ball went past Blake, went through to Redfern, but Lunt coming away with it now, the little midfielder. Beagrie doing a tremendous job in the centre circle, losing out to Street. Street gets round McCall. Going forward, a little stocky play. Street now. Tries a shot. A good save by Matt Clark. Haller gives the ball away again, and that's the last thing that Paul Jewell will want to see when Bradford have the ball. He's giving it away as they do. As Smith knocks the ball deep. And it's there! Colin Little makes it 1-1. The pressure paid off. Sean Smith sent a deep ball to the far post, which Bradford City failed to clear, and Colin Little makes it 1-1. This will certainly be their cup final today if they can beat the Premiership boys. But, it's not over yet. Oh! Big cup tie it's been. At its highs and its lows, but at the moment the scoreline stands at 1 apiece. Saunders to Myers. Sharp in the area. Bignut gets there first. Loses it out to Sharp. Sharp now. Yes! Saunders! The two substitutes combined. Sharp had the look at the bounce, but he kept his footing well. Played it for Saunders. Saunders side-footed.
This was Crewe's 4th home game in the space of 2 weeks against a side that had defeated Manchester City 4-1 at home and beaten Wigan Athletic in the 3rd round of the Cup on the previous Saturday. Wolverhampton Wanderers started the brighter as well. Sinton with some sweet work on the near side, and Akinbayi so near to giving his side the lead. After winning their previous 2 home games at the Alexandra Stadium, Crewe though were creating their own opportunities. Macaulay with this effort well saved. The second 45 minutes saw both sides have clear-cut opportunities, this one falling first for Akinbayi after Kearton's pull-out, and then to Michael Branch, who's on loan from Everton. But it was Crewe that really lit up the second period of play, and this man in particular, Marcus Bignut, had an emphatic period. During this period, there was 3 opportunities inside 60 seconds. That the first half one to Colin Crown. Then Street knocks it back in. Little's persistence brings an opportunity for Paul Tate. A miss that he would make up for later. And we've not finished there either. A quick goal kick from Wolverhampton Wanderers could have caught Crewe cold, but instead Lunt and Savell interlinked to supply David Wright. And his inside ball gave Little the opportunity that could so easily have gone in. Incessant play from Crewe, and again we see how their quick thinking can catch a team cold as well. A quick free kick from Kenny Lund, and Colin Little once more has got behind the defence, but he can't find his angles. What a difference a month makes. If Crewe's weaknesses were exposed during November, December has seen them completely turn their form around, and they've turned themselves forward thanks to a man who must have arrived with some suspicion. Paul Tate has scored 4 goals in a 6-game period. This probably is most important. And only Dario Gradi could have done this with a man who was at Northwich Victoria earlier in the season.
Excellent. I didn't know till this week. Harold Finch sent me a Christmas card to 900 games, just in case you didn't know.
Are you ever going to leave this club?
Yeah. Well, obviously one day I will. Yeah. Not too soon. And we've got a way to go yet. There's there's still things to achieve here. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting time for us. I mean, it's so much more exciting now that we've not worried about where the next penny's coming from. We can pay our bills. We've got a nice ground. We've got a good team, and we've got some good players coming through. So, I suppose we're lucky, really. We're lucky that we know where we're going and what we're going to do.
Is that why you don't leave?
Yes. Yeah, there's no point in leaving, really. I often think I'd like a go in the Premiership, but not with a lot of prima donnas. I'd really like to get like the Leeds team. That would be. I mean, I bet he can't believe it, David O'Leary, to inherit that team. I mean, Howard will be disappointed. I think that he's not with them because he got on there. But that's the sort of team where they've got youngsters and we want to play and fresh and bright. So we might get in the Premiership one day.
You'd like to take this bunch of kids up there, would you?
Yes. Won 3 games on the trot, getting carried away now, aren't we? Hey? We're not even talking about survival here. We're talking about Premiership. We're way off the Premiership at the moment, but it's not an impossible dream. We've just got to try and get there before the Premiership changes beyond recognition.
And finally, did you think you just weren't going to get the win tonight?
I did. I thought they had the upper hand most of the game. They were calling the shots, but we were defending very well, very organised, very resolute. Stephen went in and did a super job. David at left back. I don't think he might have played one game at left back before. But we don't mind him at left back. I don't mind wrong-footed fullbacks. So I thought he defended very well, and the midfield boys in front of them did. Backtracked and won the ball off Akinbay's feet, Branch's feet. But I didn't think we were functioning very well up front. Not well enough to win the game. So I just tried to make a little change with Streety there to see if we could get a little bit different tactics and a little bit more of a darting run. But that wasn't it wasn't a great substitution to win the game. And what happened to win the game was got a good pass out of defence from David Wright, and Colin got his head up and delivered a nice cross, which is well, he doesn't always do that. He usually sells 16 dummies. And Tate got to the back post, which is what he should be doing. I mean, that's what I saw in him, that he was a good leaper. I saw him play at Northwich, and then when he worked with us, he was a good leaper, and we hadn't got a good leaper up there. And he should have, I mean, that's the first headed goal he's got, and he should have had more, but at least it was a good time to start.
A week before Christmas, and the optimism in Dario Gradi's Crewe camp couldn't have been better. 3 back-to-back home wins had lifted Crewe to their highest position in the table for over 2 months. David Platt has had his problems in charge of Nottingham Forest. His side at this point were below Crewe in the table, but they came into this game knowing that they needed a victory. And the Trinidad player Stern John, who would figure later, he would provided them with an early strike. had their moments too, as Street and Cram interlink. Watch for the run of Marcus Bignett. And if his touch had been to the left or right of Dave Besant, yes, Dave Besant, it would have been a goal. But this has to be the clearest opportunity of the game, and really should have been taken. A lovely first touch from Colin Cram, but his shot was so wayward, it didn't even trouble the ball boy. Not even Kenny Lunt's ingenuity at seeing Besant off his line could give Crewe the lead. And then the 40-year-old goalkeeper came up with a superb supply of his own. A real assist from Besant as Stern John lays the ball off to Jim Brennan, and he's back in position to finish this effort off. John would later be injured a few weeks after this and out for the rest of the season, but he'd done the damage against Crewe in this game. And the points are counted up at the end of the season. This will certainly be one that got away, though John could have doubled Nottingham Forest's lead with that effort that hits the post. Kearton with a little save. The Forest fans and management and players knew the significance of this win. Crewe would not realise it for another few weeks.
Christmas Day may have come and gone, but these two teams will be hoping for a late Christmas present from Santa. Dario Gradi only has one league defeat in December, a record that is only bettered by his opposite number today, Steve Bruce. I've got a feeling though it's going to be Dean Gore who's going to leave it for Jamie Vincent, who tries then to tee him up. Gore's shot, and it's headed onto the bar by Vineyard. A super opportunity for Huddersfield to take the lead. It's still there with Sellers. He's not been successful. It's now with Beach, who's got the width of Jamie Vincent. Oh, and the movement now of Stewart, and surely he will score. Kearton to the rescue the first time. It then strikes the hand of Marcus Stewart, who was... Sellers, the former Bolton and Blackburn player, and he's nearly curled himself a cracker into the top corner. It whistles just past. Kenny Lunt has gone to the far side to take this set piece that he plays in short to Colin Cram, who seemed to be tripped. Mr. Danson, though, has quickly walked away. Colin Cram's not happy at all. Tate, the touch on from Wright's long ball, and he's got the loose possession in his feet as well. Bignett. Oh, Cram is onside. Can he finish? He's lobbed the keeper, but Vassam was quick to turn, and there was no pace on the ball. That was Troy from the captain was the right intention. But in those positions, you just feel that Crewe have got to take advantage and at least create a half opportunity for a forward such as Colin Little, their leading goal scorer, who is now bearing down on Steve Jenkins. Jenkins with Little, who drives across the face of goal. It was inches from going in. And how Crewe would love to end the half with a goal. Sellers with the slip that allows Bignett to move further forward. Cram now would take the space for Colin Cram. Oh, he can't find the corner of the goal. Vincent. Vineyard back to Jamie Vincent, who steps through Marcus Bignett. The ball through to the legs of Marcus Stewart, who just couldn't find a step. But there is a step and a finish from Chris Beach. A super strike from Beach, the former Blackpool player, to give Huddersfield the lead. Little. Oh, look at the movement of Cram. He's got behind Steve Jenkins. Now Tate's waiting in the middle, but Cram wants to go in all alone. Oh, Colin Cram, so close. Sabal. On to Kevin Street. Outside of him is Marcus Bignett. Now into Colin Cram, who is onside. Little and Tate both wait. It comes to Colin Little. It's his 8th of the season. It ties the ball game up. What a way to score it too. In probably the last game of the century, we probably have the last goal scorer for Crewe here at the Alexandra Stadium. It's all Crewe now as we enter the final few minutes of this game. Tate, Cram outside of him. Tate's got it himself. Oh, wonderful tip round the post from Nico Vasson. If Vasson hadn't clawed that out, Tate could have got his 5th of the season.
This is one that certainly he'd have wanted today, I think.
Yes, that was a good game. I mean, obviously, before the game, I might have settled for a point. The way the game went, we thought we were in with a chance. But probably as time went on, there was more likelihood, perhaps, of them scoring. I don't know. I'm not excited about it, but I'm satisfied. Yeah.
A difficult opening spell for you, but it looked as though, certainly by half-time, that you were getting the upper hand of the game.
Well, we're coping with people much better. You know, people aren't making us wobble like they used to. You know, in the past we've wobbled. The defence is looking stronger. Macca's having I would think, his best spell with us, and you know, he's done well to come back. He was out for a year or more, and he's having a good run now and playing well at a higher level than before he had the injury. And David Wright's gone in there, most unexpected really, that we would have to put David in there. But he's gone in there, and of course people find it very hard to get past him.
Fine. Steve, 1 point gained or maybe 2 more lost?
Well, whatever which way you want to look at it. I think we obviously had a lot of chances early in the game, and I think when you have them amount of chances away from home, you look at it and you think, well, you know, we're a bit disappointed, but it's always the same. If you don't stick your chances away, you don't win a game of football.
In fact, after 6 minutes, it looked as though you'd actually taken the lead, hadn't it, with the ball against the bar?
Well, that's something that from that moment on, when you're up a yard out or something and hits the bar with it, it's probably easier to score, isn't it? And you just detect then, you know, we had 2 or 3 opportunities after that to take the lead, but obviously we didn't. It always then makes it a little bit difficult. But even then, when we have scored, then maybe we could have retained possession a bit better of the ball when we were on top.
Survival, the nature of the game, or are you looking
yes,
for more than that?
No. If we can stay out of trouble, that'll do us for another year. We've been in trouble the last 2 years. We'd like to stay out of trouble. You know, we don't want to be going to the last few games of the season sweating like we have done. And the thing is that this year we might not have to, or might not sell the players we've sold in the past. So, you know, if we start this year and we have a little bit of luck on the transfer market and people don't make us good offers for players, we'll have a better team next year than we've got this year.
Games, but they're all tough. In this division, week in and week out, it's a tough opposition. We've come to Crewe, made it very, very, very difficult for us. Got some good footballers themselves, so we know what to expect.
Cracking goal for you. You must have been delighted with that 8th of the season.
Yeah. It was a good goal with me head, yeah. Went right in the corner, so I was happy with it, yeah.
I mean, that's just one of 8 that you've had already. I mean, you don't seem to be able to miss the target at the moment.
No, I still miss the target quite often, but I've got 8, yeah. I've been top scorer for the last couple of seasons, and from the wing, and just keep getting in there. Mark was going to cross it, but I made a little run, but he played Crammy in down the line, and I changed my run. Crammy put a lovely ball and it just landed on my head, so I did it towards the corner.
In fact, certainly in that second half there was one or 2 more opportunities like that, almost identical, wasn't there?
Yeah. We created some good openings. Like, we were disappointed we hadn't won really, but we're happy with a draw against Huddersfield, top of the league.
You say there's a danger that perhaps some teams underestimate the ability that you've got in the team?
I think they do, yeah, to be fair. I was thinking that before the game today. I hope that they underestimate us today, but once they play there, they don't do it again.
So the message over the Christmas period from yourself is?
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Be on your guard if you're on the opposition,
yeah,
I think.
QPR continue to defy a long injury list to stay in touch near the top. Stuart Wardley's 5th goal in as many games, enough to see off Crewe at Loftus Road.
What a game to usher in the dawn of a new millennium. It's a scriptwriter's dream this afternoon at the Alexandra Stadium, with Manchester City the champions-elect, with the biggest following outside the Premiership, visiting a team that just 10 years ago languished in the depths of the old Division 4, and will this afternoon have their biggest crowd for 33 years.
Bishop. In for the resurgent Jamie Pollock once more. Taylor now with the onrushing run of Lee Crooks. Crooks, can he finish? Oh, I'd say he can. It's 1-0 to Manchester City. Lee Crooks with a thunderous finish to give them the lead. He came from nowhere to get that ball. Bishop. In for the resurgent Jamie Pollock once more. Taylor now with the onrushing run of Lee Crooks. Crooks, can he finish? Oh, I'd say he can.
It's 1-0 to Manchester City. Lee Crooks with a thunderous finish to give them the lead. He came from nowhere to get that ball. Turns out to the challenge of Tony Grant. Still Colin Little has Rodney Jack in support. He just can't take the ball on. There was certainly contact between he and Danny Granville. Bishop. An incisive ball through for Sean Gota. Wright is with him, but Gota's gone through. Can he score? Oh, tremendous stuff from Jason Kearton. The Australian with a palm of his hand.
Manchester City are down to 10 men at the moment as Sean Gota seems to have received a knock to his shin.
And Jack now has got a great opportunity. Weaver in front of him. Jack just touches it too far.
Oh, great work, Colin Little. His forward pass gives Bignett somewhere to move into. Now what can Street produce? Oh, it would have been a splendid goal from Kevin Street. And again the excellence of Nicky Weaver. And that's with Marcus Bignett after the loose clearance.
And there's Colin Little.
Tate
in behind is Colin Little. And he's got there before Beacons. Little! Oh, wonderful stop from Weaver with his legs, but it's still with Rodney Jack. Jack now going through Danny Tieto, but he can't keep his cross or shot there.
Because City get ready to play their final third with ice. And it's going to be Jeff Whitley who's going to come on. It'll be interesting to see who goes off. As Beacons now battles with Jack, who gets the ball in a decent position. Can he finish? Rodney Jack! Oh, it's his first goal for a year at the Alexandra Stadium. And what a game to open your accounts here on home turf of the new millennium. The first goal of a new dawn, and Rodney Jack gets his fourth of the season, but more importantly, his first here at the brand new Alexandra Stadium. Thanks to the second half strike of Rodney Jack. Oh, Kevin Horlock's strike is just tipped away by Kearton. No, Bishop. Behind the back is Whitley. Oh, he stumbles under the challenge of Macaulay. A similar incident to the one in the first half where Jack went down after the challenge of Granville.
When it came to the league leaders coming a week ago, and then the league leaders again, it was mission impossible to go 2 games without being beaten off one of them, but you've succeeded.
Yes, I wouldn't have said it was mission impossible. We've been playing all right against the top teams. We've not been outclassed this year like we have been in the past. Nobody's outclassed us. We'll have a job next game. That'll be the hardest game of the season, I would think, down at Charlton. But we've played. I think we've thoroughly deserved our point against Huddersfield and here. We might have nicked it. We thought we made more chances. They played some good football. I thought they were probably played a bit better than I thought they would. But we had more chances and more corners, and I thought at the end somebody said to me as I went up the stand about the right result, and I couldn't disagree.
The goal from Rodney Jack was important, not just for the club but for him.
Well, it was important for the club, more important for the club than for him. He was a threat all game, which is not a surprise. He's come back very well, better prepared mentally than he has been before when he's been injured and come in. I thought he was very professional. He often has little spells in the games where, his mind wanders a bit. I think he came deep twice and ran with it, that's all. And he had one shot from 55 yards. Other than that, he played as we would want him to play, and he kept finding the gaps, which was excellent. Just a bit rusty not to put the ball away.
I feel you're very close to becoming a very good side with the way that you're competing against these top teams.
I think we're improving. I think we're emerging, and we always do. There's nothing strange about what we've done. We usually improve from the start of the season as we go along. Once we've sold players, then we usually have to do it all again because we sell our best players.
3 years since you've had 10,000 fans inside Gresty Road as it was, Alexandra Stadium as it is. It must have been very special for you to sit in the stadium today.
Yeah, well, I was down the front at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, and I turned around and looked at the stand behind me, and that was awesome to see that full, and not only full, but they were all up and waving their arms and cheering us on. Yes, it was excellent. 2 great atmospheres. 18, nearly 19,000 people in the 2 games that we've had. Well, it means that we've got a chance of hanging on to our players if we can do things like that, because we'll be able to afford to pay them what other people pay.
Those fans were cursing Graham Stewart when he blazed over from the spot against QPR last week, but his 13th minute winner could be a massive goal come the end of the season. Mark Kinsella bent in the cross, Sean Newton hooked it square, and Stewart's head did the rest. Once again, it was the inspirational Kinsella calling all the shots. 6'1" Jason Kearton needed that last inch to deny him. Neil Sorvell's 30-yarder speared into the side netting for Crewe late on, but the points were Charlton's. Charlton won, Crewe.
There can be no room for complacency this afternoon. The Alex need to inflict their league double over the Midlanders and help put a nail in their relegation coffin. Matthias drives the ball into the near post and it's flicked across the goal line. An excellent opportunity for Mark Robin. Little. No, Tate does get a touch, but he can't direct it through for Rivers. But then the deflection back by Vivish goes inches wide. Kevin Harper with the corner kick that's flicked on from Matthias. Up in the air from right, it's still in the danger zone. Ricketts the nearest to, and that will go straight in from Tom Bennett, the player unknown from Stockport County, gives Walsall the lead. Padula. No Robbins. Just touch from Matthias, who knocks it on for Ricketts. He's got in front of Stephen Wright. Now what can Michael Ricketts do? Oh, he's driven it in. It's 2-0 for Walsall. Michael Ricketts, 8th of the season. Stephen Wright gets a pat on the floor from Kearton, but he knows that he was the reason that the goal was conceded. Rivers, an instant reply would be just what the doctor ordered. Lunt, no for Savell. And on for Tate, there's appeals for a penalty and it's given. Mr. Jones decides there was a push on Paul Tate by the captain Adrian Vivish. How they need him to stay cool here now. What can Macaulay produce? Oh, he's thundered it in, his second of the season, and nonchalantly done. Crewe are back in the game, and didn't they need that 60 seconds after conceding a second? Still Neil Savell. Oh, the lever's left Colin Little free. But the save from Walker denies him the equaliser before the challenge of Ricketts. You just can't take your eye off this game for a second. Well, that's an awful back pass. Rivers is onside. Can he finish? Mark Rivers. Oh, he's denied by Walker also. Rodney Jack. And still Rodney Jack. He's gone through Padula. Lovely ball in, and it's deflected off the line by the challenge of Vivish. Then back in from Little. And even Tate managed to get a touch. Harper, always driven through 3 challenges. Harper, Robbins gives it in back. Harper finishes. It's 3-1. What a wonderful goal from Kevin Harper. The man unknown from Derby County strolled through the defence, and then with a super one-touch with Mark Robbins, slams in Walsall's third. Bignett into Rodney Jack, and Bignett has followed it round, but Jack couldn't get it to him. Still Rodney Jack, and he's got his cross in this time. It's above Tate. Macaulay's there. The punch from Walker denies it. Quickly taken free kick. It's above the head of Rivers, but comes through for Tate. And then off the line from Matthias, of all people, Pedro Matthias, back on his goal line. And then Rodney Jack is fouled by Wright. On for Rivers, now back to David Wright. He too is checked though, this time by Chris Marsh. Lunt, through for Mark Rivers. Rivers, now there's a chance for Tate, and he's scored. It's 3-2. Paul Tate's 5th of the season, and he's not scored since West Bromwich Albion and then Wolverhampton Wanderers. Lunt, Macaulay. High ball through the middle. It's a hesitation from everyone. Here's Paul Tate. Oh, he's deflected his shot over the bar. A clear opportunity for Tate to get his second and become a hero in the final minute with an equaliser.
A point for Crewe was useful, but for so long it seemed much more. Rodney Jack's vision to free Kenny Lunt early in the second half seemed to have paved the route to victory. But as the glances at the watch became more anxious, a bizarre equaliser undid their good work. Bradley Allen's initial thoughts to claim a penalty were soon forgotten as his miss hit agonisingly found the target.
They're still without a win in the new millennium. To find their last success in the league, you have to go back 2 months. Look at this, there's a 2-on-2. Rivers with Jack, and it's Rivers who gets the shot away that would have gone in. 8 minutes in as Lunt knocks the ball in a deeper position for Macaulay to head the ball on, and look at the space for Mark Rivers. A golden opportunity for Mark Rivers, and then Mark Foran, who came up
to head the ball on target. Corner kick, Crewe nearly scored. Rivers had that one-on-one with Andrews, and then Mark Foran with the free header. Had to see his efforts spectacularly tipped away by Andrews as well. As Macaulay now goes in, it should go on the line, and the referee has given it. Steve Macaulay's third of the season, a debatable goal, as Graham Hyde complains now to the linesman on this near side. The question will be whether it crossed the line, but the referee, Mr. Brandwood, was in the best position. There's only two this afternoon in what has been, since that goal from Steve Macaulay, a very quiet afternoon's affair. Certainly not in the way that we thought it was going to be after an extremely lively opening 20 minutes. But Birmingham have been subdued, especially this player, Adebola. Oh, Rankin knocking the ball back to him. He was fouled as he did so, and although the shot has been tipped round from Brian Hughes, the penalty has been given. Mr. Bramwood handing out a spot kick for the foul on Asaya Rankin, who, as he laid the ball off, was cut from behind. Team for Birmingham, Martin O'Connor is to take. O'Connor versus Kearton in the final seconds of the first half. He slots it in to equalise. Against the run of play, Birmingham in a first half that has been extremely quiet as far as they're concerned, have managed to have a fillip thanks to a foul on Asaya Rankin. O'Connor into space for Simon Charlton. Here comes Rodney Jack darting back to hold Charlton up. His ball forward though comes through for Hughes, who scored. It's 2-1 to Birmingham, and Brian Hughes has given them the lead. A neat struck strike from within the 6-yard area after the tip on from Charlton, who's got plenty of options in the centre. He steps back to defeat Brian Hughes, and the free header from Foran is only a foot or so wide. Played 70 or so minutes in the centre forwards role. Charlton making a dart through, and his effort is straight at Kearton. Now the loose ball for Adebola, and it's game, set and match Birmingham City. Adebola makes it 3-1 with a tap in, and Crewe now have really capitulated. Little in for Paul Tate, who's headed down, could come through for Rivers. It's now with Colin Little. He's not too far away with his drive. Lunt into the feet of Tate. Oh, he did ever so well, and there was an advantage to be played, which has quickly gone to Mark Rivers. Surely he will score. Mark Rivers has put it wide, but there was a deflection off Ian Andrews. Rivers has just had 5th corner kick of the game, and they're queuing up and have finally dragged one in. And I think it's Steve Macaulay who's got his 4th of the season, his 2nd in the game, right on full time. Late consolation for Macaulay.
Amidst West Brom's disappointing season, Richard Snakers hasn't scored. He's come close many times, but even that divine through ball from Lee Hughes didn't quite get him off the mark. Quite. Another one of those days in one of those years. Hughes made his name for the Albion in just his 2nd game, with 2 goals in the last 4 minutes at Crewe, and he's invariably done well against them since. Loan signing Paul Hall created his 13th goal this season, giving the Albion their first win in 15 games and their first in the new millennium. The Alex won 5-1 at the Hawthorns last season. They couldn't even manage one this year. Chris Lightfoot denied by the post and Paul Tate by the flag. Crewe's control on a Division 1 place slipping away. West Brom 1, Crewe 0.
Needed credit to Swindon as well. A goalless draw at Blackburn. It felt like a win, said Jimmy Quinn.
It's over 2 months since Crewe's last win. Dario Gradi's men are still looking for their first success of the 21st century. Lentu took the previous set piece inside the first 5 minutes. Travels to the far side to play this one short to Mark Rivers. There's plenty of players for Lund to aim for. One of them is Lightfoot. Inside of him is Tate, Foran, and there is Paul Tate, but the goal will not stand as the foul from Foran has been given by Mr. Lynch. Well, for the 2nd game running, Paul Tate has had his goal. That's a set pieces. This is the first. Clapham with it. It's a decent ball that's needed to be cleared off the line by Bignett. Tony Mowbray and John McGreal were the 2 players that tried to connect. Into motion goes McGreal, who's darted at the near post, and it's up for him, and then nearly through for Mowbray. The acrobatics that again is cleared off the line, this time by Boutain. Tate, that's a lovely touch, and Rivers is in front of Vilnius. Can Mark Rivers finish? He's managed to tee up Paul Tate, and the block that was made by Matthew Clegg.
Scowcroft. No Magilton. Here's Clapham. Oh, what a wonderful strike from Jamie Clapham. For so long it did seem as if Crewe would hold out, but when you have a goal of that quality, no goal and no team are going to withstand it. And the captain's also having a word, but it won't be Lunt who will have the opportunity here for Crewe. It's a great ball in, and what a finish from Paul Tate, his 6th of the season. If his goal in the first half was disallowed marginally, there was no way he was to be denied from that position, and Crewe are back on level terms within 2 minutes of conceding. Savell, there's space for him in front, and look at the room for Rodney Jack. What a ball! Can Jack finish? Oh, he strikes the woodwork. Right, now Clegg. Outside of him is McGreal, who's coming more and more forward in these final seconds. A great ball in that was near to James Scowcroft, headed out. Oh, what a goal from Jermaine Wright. A goal at the death that seals surely 3 points for Ipswich and kills off the chance of Crewe getting a point. And what a way to get it.
Tommy Widdrington. This was a massive win for Crewe, wasn't it? And a super goal. Rodney Jack supplying substitute Colin Cram.
Yeah, tremendous from Jack. And Crewe Swindon, it's getting worse, but Crewe will fight on, I'm sure they will, they always do. They'll be about for survival near the end of the season.
We've reached that point in the season where you can't take anything for granted. Colin Cram's goal last weekend gave the Alex a get-out-of-jail free card that needs to be capitalised on this afternoon. David Wright had to step in. That's a better ball from Neil Savell. He's picked out Colin Cram, who scored his first goal for over 6 months against Swindon Town. Savell waiting for the return ball, but Cram might not need him. Here's Savell though! Oh, Neil Savell with a lovely start, pass and finish to give Crewe the lead. He was at the centre of everything that was coming forward then for the Alex, and Colin Cram, who's on top of his game at the moment, supplying the final pass and assist. Bignett. It's a decent ball in. Now what can Paul Tate produce from it? Macaulay. It's a powerful header back that Rivers is coming for, and the short back pass has given Rivers a chance. Can he finish? Oh, it's into the side netting from Mark Rivers. A golden opportunity to break his goal barren period. Stephen Wright and Steve Macaulay are both forward from the back as Cram steps inside the challenge at the near post, and this flick that comes from Stephen Wright, it's straight at Andy Marshall, letting it run to De Blalis. De Blalis trying to line up the shot. Oh, it's a wonderful effort from Jean-Yves De Blas. But they've got it back now with Stephen Wright, who'd be wisely employed keeping hold of the ball. Newby, after the layoff from Wright. Inside of him is Cram, also there is Holtz. The deflection comes through for Cram. It's a gilt-edge miss from Colin Cram, who has his hands on his head. Savell. Oh, that's a super ball on. Holtz is onside. This could be a golden debut for Rob Holtz. Oh, he just can't finish. And has certainly won the contest so far. Oh, Holtz with another gilt-edge opportunity. Surely he'll score this time. Oh, it's another miss that really should have gone in from Crewe Alexandra. As Roberts knocks it down for Dalgleish. Here's no Fugelstad. He continues the movement. Oh, it's a wonderful shot from Fugelstad, but an even better stop from Jason Kearton.
Neil, an important goal, but more importantly, 3 points.
Yeah, delighted. I mean, with the run going as long as it had 10 games without winning, you know, and winning last week and another one, you've got to string a few wins together and hopefully that'll get us out of trouble.
You played ever so well in the first 20 minutes. Talk us through your goal that started it off.
Just picked the ball up midfield, played the ball, played the river wind down the line, and Crammy did a bit of magic and just carried me run on really, and he found me, like, so nice to slide in and put it away.
There's been 5 goals like that this season, hasn't there, with a nice 1-2, and you've been able to drive into the penalty area.
Yeah, well, I not really scored many goals, but it was nice to get 5. It speaks me total really for last year so far. Like.
The confidence in the side seems to have increased after last weekend's win, and it must be getting a lot better now today after this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played really well today, especially first half, you know. But 3 or 4 chances where we could have gone in and scored a few more, but we seemed to sit back a bit second half. But having said that, we still had a better chances second half to finish the game off.
Was there any worry in the camp when the miss from Cram and then the miss from Holtz went wide?
Well, you do tend to have a little worry that they're going to nick something at the other end, but thankfully we held in there today and a nice 3 points again.
Do you set a target, or has the gaffer set a target for how many points you need?
No, he hasn't really said. He doesn't really put any pressure on. He just wants us, to go out and keep playing, and hopefully everything will, turn out right. If we play like that, we should be okay.
Big game on Tuesday against Port Vale. You've not beaten them here at Gresty Road for a long time.
Well, I think every game's important, really, but more importantly is, the games against teams who are down there with you, and really, the last couple of months we haven't done so well against teams lower down like West Brom. I think there was another game, wasn't there? We didn't. I remember. Walsall, that was the one, yeah. So really, we need to be winning them games as well. More importantly.
It would leave a huge gap if you were able to get 3 points against Port Vale, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. I mean, it's a big game, just like the Portsmouth game again in 2 weeks' time. That'll be another crunch game, really, where you could do with 3 points.
But in Cheshire, this is the prime fixture of the campaign. With the likelihood that one of these teams will be relegated this season, tonight's 6-pointer will play a key role with the end of season's league positions. Whoever loses this evening will find themselves in desperate need for the rest of the campaign of staying up. Bogey. Healy with the one touch, and he wanted to play it back for him. Viljanen. The room there for Viljanen. And Kearton with one hand had to tip it away. And no wonder Vili Viljanen, the Finland player, is not too happy about the... Witherington, the Vale captain. Will not reach that ball because it was touched before him from Savelle. Cram! Oh, what a strike from Colin Cram! His first goal at the Alexandra Stadium. He does his trademark run to the dugout, and what a time to do it! His 5th of the season, probably his best goal that he has scored for Crewe to date. Look at the space for Tommy Witherington. He's got lots of room to move into, the Vale captain. His ball on is a perfectly struck pass for David Healy, whose shot comes off the inside of the post. The player on loan from Manchester United with a golden opportunity. How it didn't go in, got it. Mark Rivers holding off the challenge from Neil Bresco. And look at the space that's been afforded to Neil Savelle. Bignert. Oh, lovely touch from Newbury through the legs of O'Donnell. And Donnelly can't hold him back. It's across Tate. And the goal, will it count, or will the free kick be given instead? It should be 2-0 now to Crewe. But the referee, Mr. Butler, has not played advantage. He's gone back for the free kick. Lunt with the free kick. Can Crewe make amends and make justice count? Savelle, his driven shot was blocked. Well, that will be a talking point that will not just take us through half-time, but I'm sure will be one that will be talked about after this game and into the hours of tomorrow. Savelle. That's a great ball on for Rivers, who is onside. Can Mark Rivers finish? Oh, he nearly can. It's so close to being number 2. As Vale get ready to take their corner kick, it's a scrappy one and it's a goal. I think it's Viljanen who's going to claim it. This local derby, one in which Crewe haven't won for 20 years, is going to the same length. But Kenny Lunt has produced probably the winner. A wonderful strike from Lunt, who waited to get confirmation to see it scored, and then found that he certainly had. It's his 3rd of the season, and none more priceless than that. A wonderful strike from Lunt, and could that be the turning point in Crewe's season? Could that be the goal that helps to keep Crewe up? Never yet won against Vale, who at home. They've won a corner a kick, and there's not too much happiness on the face of Mr. Sliders. Mark Sliders having one or two words to say, Mr. Butler, so much so that Mr. Butler sent him off.
But a lot depends for us on how we do today. We've won the last 3 games. If we win today, and it's the hardest game we've had, the formation we've been playing the last few weeks. So if we can cause some problems today, and we can get the points today, I would think that we'll get out of it. You know, I'd be almost sure we'd get out of it. But it's a hard game today.
To that end, though, is it fair to say you're going to go for the jugular today?
Well, we never really try just to defend, because I think it's a dangerous game unless you've got very, very good experienced players. And you end up conceding a goal 5 minutes from time, one mistake, and you think to yourself, I haven't given myself a chance of winning it. We'll attack as much as we can. I mean, we played, the best example is we went to Spurs, tried to attack Spurs, hardly got out of our half. We're chasing the ball all the time. And I know when I spoke to Gareth Wally early on at Bradford, he said every game was the same. He said they spent all game chasing the ball. You know, well, they've replaced some of their players now, and perhaps they're doing a bit better. So it'll be interesting to see if we can attack and if we can pass the ball well enough to construct attacks. But that's obviously, we've got a lot of attacking players in the team.
Yeah. And you've got a bit of speed up front, haven't you?
We've got a bit of speed up front, yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Played forward towards Janssen. Guided by him. Now Duff. Full back for company, but Duff gets round him, and Ward! Oh, good save! Great save from Kearton. Ashley Ward will perhaps feel that Kearton should have got nowhere near this, however. Flitcroft. Franson. Good ball. Here's Duff. Sits up for him. And another fine save by Kearton. It sat up for the shot. Duff's got a terrific left foot on him. Helped over the bar. Blackburn are just piling it on at the moment. Here's Matt Janssen now. Good effort. Oh, and another great save from Kearton. Flicked onto his upright. It bounced just in front of him. It was a terrific save. Duff looking for the 1-2. He'll get it as well. Crewe stretch once more. And McCauley nearly turns it in, but you know who is on the line to tip it out of harm's way. Kearton's there again. Blackburn have just piled on the pressure at every opportunity. But wait a minute! A great opportunity for Newby, and now it's Alan Kelly making the save. Out of very little. And this was an equally fine save from the Blackburn keeper. Well, Blackburn have begun the second as they ended the first. Here's Gillespie. He's got the better of Walton. And Ward! Oh, again saved by Kearton. Well, how did that stay out? Ward's header seemingly in, clawed away. What a game he's having. And Blackburn Rovers are knocking and knocking, but they're not being allowed in, and Kearton saves again! It's an inspired performance from Jason Kearton. Brilliant again. And Blackburn must simply be thinking that this isn't their day. Jason Kearton, however, will have a totally different view. Now here's Daly. Oh, and beaten away again by Kearton. Here's Ward, and he's not going to find the net. Well, Kearton's just everywhere at the moment, denying Daly and then putting the pressure on Ward. And it's not over. And here's Janssen. Good ball in. McCauley, it's in at last. No! Turned away with the back of his arm by Kearton. Well, how on earth did that stay out? Blackburn Rovers must be cursing their luck. Just a minute! Would you believe it? Colin Graham. Well, Blackburn was wondering just how they didn't score there. And the next they knew, Rivers to Graham. And Graham shows Blackburn Rovers how to keep you cool and score. Kelly could do nothing about it, and Crewe are leading. Well, just what Blackburn have to do to score. They must be wondering, is that a penalty? No, the referee says no. Now, that is a push from Rodney Jack. And Blackburn Rovers must surely know that today was not their day.
Although it looked a lot one-sided, which it probably was, we made a lot of chances, you know, for one side. We made a lot of chances than we've made in games when we've been on top.
We've created chances, the players have given all, they've created chances, crosses have gone in the box. I can't really be too disappointed in that, but at the end of it, it's a blank sheet when we shouldn't have lost that game. It's devastating, really.
Jason, have the railwaymen pulled off something akin to the great train robbery today?
Yeah, that's right. We're backs against the wall practically all the game. Just one of them days for me. Everything seemed to come off, and then a little bit of luck there with the ones on the line. And we basically went straight up the other end and scored from that.
Now, have you ever played better?
I don't think so, no. Just everything clicked today.
But to be fair, you did create chances at the other end, didn't you?
We did, yeah. We've been improving as the season goes on, and we'll always create chances the way we play.
Well done, sir. You're our nationwide man of the match. Well done, Jason. Thanks a lot.
4 wins back-to-back, and thanks in large to this player's performance. Since transfer deadline day, when he turned in a deal to go to Notts County, he's been in goal-scoring mood. One player who still needs to find his form is John Newby. This would be one of his final games. And Alex had the worst possible start, playing a 4-2-4 formation, which meant that they would be pushing up and trying to attack their relegation rivals Portsmouth. They suffered an early setback. Excellent build-up in the midfield from Portsmouth. Kerris Hughes with the lovely ball across the box that's missed by Harper and put in by Claridge. Took Crewe much of the first half to recover from the blow from Claridge. Eventually they did manage to strike themselves forward. Rodney Jack with this speculative effort that goes 2 yards right of the post. But an hour gone and Crewe got themselves firmly back into the contest. This is probably the pick of the match, moves of the match. Lovely build-up play, Jack involved along with Rivers, and the goal scorer Cram starts a 1-2 with Mark Rivers that he finishes expertly. Superb execution. It's his 4th goal in 5 games. And Colin Cram's so happy he even manages to give Mr. Laws a pat on the head. Well, if the rub of Mr. Laws' head was for luck, it certainly didn't pay fruition, because straight away Portsmouth were back in front. This ball in was headed down by Harper. The deflected shot came off Steve McCauley, who had the final touch from the effort from the Dane, Thomas Thorgerson. If truth been earned, Sean Derry, the midfielder for Portsmouth, was running this contest. And as Thorgerson and Claridge interlinked again with some 12 minutes left at the clock, another goal was beckoning. This time for Kevin Harper, his header, his 2nd goal here at the Alexandra Stadium. It was for Walsall, on loan from Derby County that day, and his side came to Alexandra. No late consolation either for Crewe as they tried to push forward, urged on by the words of their manager. He must have been a little disappointed at seeing his side end that winning run. Newby's ball in, well flicked on from Colin Cram, and there's Rodney Jack, who had the best chance in the first half, and able to finish this the best chance of the second.
Wolves are making a determined charge for a playoff place. This victory over Crewe made it 6 successive wins at Molineux. Steve Sedgley fired Wolves in front. And Wolves were unfortunate not to score again when Neil Emblem headed against the bar from Michael Branch's cross. In the second half, Wolves confirmed their win and Crewe's 2nd successive defeat when Carl Robinson set up Scott Taylor. Wolves' 3rd consecutive victory. Crewe are nervously looking over their shoulders again. Wolves 2, Crewe 0.
5 points behind 2nd place, Huddersfield are another team still with hopes of going up without needing the playoffs. They couldn't afford to slip up at home to Crewe, and they didn't. Kevin Gray gave Town a first half lead. Then a Chris Beach double put the game beyond Crewe's reach. Keeper Jason Kearton was beaten by another header as Beach confirmed his comeback in style. Huddersfield manager Steve Bruce has been linked with the Sheffield Wednesday job. The two Yorkshire sides could yet be swapping places at the end of the season. Beach's second made it 3-0.
Well, what a difference a week makes. 3 straight defeats for the Alex, and Crewe's season has had the proverbial yo-yo effect again after seemingly putting themselves in a safe position thanks to the 4 wins back-to-back. The 3 defeats have capitulated the form that had sent them to 41 points. But again, if Cram had any support around him, he would have kept possession, but there was nobody even within 5 feet of him. Rodgers. Howard again holds up the ball ever so well. Rodgers with the overlapping run, and there's Putin. It was as simple as that. ABC, and that's 1-0 to Forest. The overlapping run of Rodgers set up by Harwood and finished by Putin. So simple but so effective. Harwood goes through Unsworth. Stern John. Now Rodgers. Oh, what a goal from Alan Rodgers. Smashes it in for the second of the afternoon for Forest, and surely that gives them the platform now for 3 points. David Platt is sat in the brand new rail track stand. I wonder what he makes of it. He's certainly quite happy with what he's seen on the pitch as he writes his notes down on his piece of paper. Oh, there's lots of space now for Jack Lester. Rodgers has continued his run. Also there's Howard. Here's Alan Rodgers, and that's number 3, and that's game, set and match Nottingham Forest. David Platt's side have come and done a tremendous job. 3 good goals, 2 of them to Alan Rodgers in this second half, and the first from Putin that set the stall after 27 minutes. Savell, nice street. Look at the space for Rivers. Cram is also there. Mark Rivers hasn't scored since Ipswich, which was 4 months ago. And his best chance of the match goes begging as well.
When we came up, they were going to be difficult seasons. We didn't know we were going to have 3 of them. So we're pleased to have had 3, and we're looking forward to a 4th. I think probably because of the experience that I've got and the experience the board have got of bad times. They understand, I understand, and therefore we don't put pressure on the players. We just keep working to do the best we can do, and I think that's held us in good stead in previous years. Hopefully it will this year. We had a good little spell, now we're having a bad spell. We've got some hard games. We could do with a little bit of inspiration from somewhere, which we've had in the past. We've got to make that inspiration ourselves this year, and I think we're capable of doing that. We're capable of doing anything. I mean, we're capable of going down. But we're capable of playing very well and, winning a big game like this.
Sadly for Crewe, they met their match yesterday in the shape of an outstanding Manchester City, who could quite literally have been 10-0 up before half-time. Paul Dickoff denied by the woodwork in the best of the early chances. The visitors created few openings, this the most dangerous, defender David Wright finding a way through. A great block, though, from Nicky Weaver. All the action was at the other end of the pitch. Jeff Whitley this time frustrated by the magnificent Jason Kearton. But the inevitable breakthrough finally arrived 5 minutes before the break. Richard Jobson's header finding Spencer Pryor, who nodded in his first goal for the Blues since his switch from Derby last month. Still plenty of chances in the second half, but City converted them this time. Dickoff easing the nerves with a well-taken strike on 68 minutes. Crewe faded fast in the last 10 minutes, and it was no surprise when more goals arrived. Ian Bishop finding Mark Kennedy in acres of space, his quality finish making it 3-0. Main Road breathed a sigh of relief. The game was finally won. Dickoff grabbed his second and City's 4th to wrap up proceedings. A perfect 51st birthday present for his manager, Joe Royle.
I think the performance over the whole 90 minutes was probably as well as we've played this year. Well taken goals and another clean sheet, 3 in a row. Coming right at the right time of the year. The changes have helped us. Spencer Pryor's give us that extra height and pace.
Yeah, it's Manchester City. 32,000 people, of course, there were a few years ago that would have regarded this as an enormous game for us. Now we're playing teams like this every week.
Sam, you can call me a sentimental old fool if you like, but I'd like to slap a First Division preservation order on Crewe.
This season, Crewe have hit more goals the London Marathon runner. They're currently in one of their worst ruts of the season. 5 defeats back-to-back.
A little bit more patience needed from the former Crewe captain. Oh, that's a huge mistake though from Murray. Little through for Cram. Oh, a golden opportunity for Colin Cram early on. A great opportunity for the man who has 7 goals this season. Lunt. Now David Wright. Cram trying to flick it on. It could come through for Sean Smith, who's burst into the box. The challenge was late. It was a penalty, says the referee. Mr. Wilkes decides that the challenge that was made by the number 7, Paul Murray, was illegal. And Sean Smith, who came from nowhere to collect that ball, is now being remonstrated with by Chris Kiwamya. Sean Smith, who was fouled for the penalty, has now got himself back on his feet to give Crewe the lead. A thunderous spot kick from Smith. It's his 3rd of the season. The other 2 were critical spot kicks too, and that could help Crewe's cause no end. Oh, neat back heel from Colin Cram. Little no to Lunt. Oh, look at the movement of Cram, who's onside. This could be number 2. Cram, oh, he just can't get his angles right. Did the right thing though, hit it early. There's games where you could say there's been no stoppage time. If QPR were to take advantage of the time that has been added on, it would be a bizarre coincidence. Peacock, back across the face of goal to Langley. Oh, and he has done, hasn't he? Richard Langley has equalised in the final seconds of the first half. We were wondering where the minute of stoppage time had come from. And just to hold play out. Just to hold play out. Lunt, a little to his left. He's gone instead for Mark Rivers, who's flicked the ball over the top and into the back of the net. Mark Rivers gives Crewe the lead with his first goal. Crewe the lead, 27th of November. It's not to see the 6th goal man this season, Paul Tate, brought in. Little, down for Savell. Oh, wonderful strike from Neil Savell. What a great hit from the midfielder. He's had a quiet game coming forward this afternoon into Neil Savell. Murray now back into the danger zone, and it's still around for Reddy, who's knocked it down and will be picked up by Wardley. Excellent ball in and off the line from Lunt. It's still loose. Gallen. Oh, and again Crewe managed to somehow keep it out.
Must be a very happy man this evening.
Well, you just mentioned the London Marathon. I feel as though I've just been in it. Yes, obviously. At this stage of the season, you know, it's a bit of a cliche, but results are more important than performance. But the performances are important as well, and I thought we played some decent football, especially under the circumstances. You know, it's all right for Queen's Park Rangers to come here and knock the ball about and send people forward. But for us, it's difficult. You know, we should be in a nervous situation, but we didn't play nervously. I thought we played. David Wright was getting forward, causing a lot of trouble. It was an interesting game, the way they set their stall out. We've got a bit of a problem on the left, but they've got a bit of a problem on their left. So David, I thought, was causing more trouble than they were causing us. And we got both the fullbacks in the same attack because of the way they were playing. And Sean obviously got the penalty. Crammy had a super chance, I thought. I thought he didn't show the composure that perhaps he could have done. Maybe it's taken it a bit further. But a few followed him after that. They were shooting from a long way, and Colin missed, I thought, a couple of 3. He could have had a hat-trick, Colin. But I thought his shooting was poor. So we needn't have been in that state at the end. We could have had the game nicely wrapped up. But because we didn't, we had to withstand a lot of pressure.
The penalty from Sean Smith was a rub of the green that you've not had in recent weeks.
Yes, but I mean, we earned it. It wasn't one of those decisions that could have gone either way. I don't think the referee could not have given that. Sometimes they do, of course. But I don't think there was any protest on their part about the penalty. The rub of the green perhaps was that he didn't put it where he meant to put it. That was perhaps a bit fortunate. But overall, they perhaps might have felt they were worth a draw. I thought we made more chances.
Were you pleased with Mark Rivers' goal? It's his first since the 27th of November.
Yeah, well, and that's not his fault. It was a super pass by Kenny that found him, and he's made those runs before, not been found. Got in at Manchester City, brought a good save out of Weaver with a similar move from a free kick. And he's gotten countless chances, but we haven't been good enough to play him in. So if he'd been playing in a better team, I think he'd have scored a lot more goals. Now if he shoots like he shot today from a long way out, that I think he was showing a bit of frustration. But he's been our main threat. I would think all season he's been our most thrustful forward.
For Crewe, they've 5 wins since that Christmas spell, and that's left them within touching distance now of the safety line. Both sides probably need another win to secure First Division football for next season. This is Fraden. Oh, lots of space been afforded to Sean Connolly in the area. Connolly within a whisker of scoring. Cooper. Street trying to slide. Little slide was a little better. And look at the ball. Here's Mark Rivers. Oh, Mark Rivers with a glorious opportunity. It's stuck under his feet, but not denying him. Mark Rivers with his second goal in 2 home games and his 7th of the season. It took him 5 months to get on the score sheet in the last home game, but eventually things came good for Mark Rivers against Queen's Park Rangers, and he started again in goal-scoring fashion here against Stockport County. The corner is the signal for Walton and Lightfoot to come forward. Sean Smith with the ball that he placed in the near post. Cram with a touch shot, it's there to be scored, and is done by Chris Lightfoot, his first of the season. What a time to come up with your opening goal of the term. Lightfoot brought back in for Steve McCauley this afternoon, coming forward and doing the business from just 6 inches. Mark Rivers has got so much space on this near side. The ball's instead played for Colin Cram, who holds play up and finds Colin Little. Oh, it's nearly a third for Crewe. Little's shot was deflected. If it hadn't have been, that could easily have been the icing on the cake. Mike Flynn now with a long throw that will be aimed for Martin Taylor, and the ball is flicked on. There's a great opportunity, and it is in. Ian Lawson from point-blank range defeating Kearton. Rivers after the challenge of Street. The loose possession well picked up by Kevin Street. Rivers could take full revenge for it. Oh, I say he can. Mark Rivers second of the game. It's made Crewe's lead double and surely now given them the 3 points. It's his 8th of the season. It ties him with the player who he's celebrating with, Colin Little, who before today was Crewe's leading goal scorer with 8 himself. But Mark Rivers, his 2 goals this afternoon have took him to 8. Maybe an opportunity here halfway through the second half for them to resurrect their bid on Easter Saturday. Gibb. No, Fraden. Cooper. It's still there for County, and the ball deflects in. There's hope yet for them as Ian Moore deflects a shot past Jason Kearton. Well, that's an excellent ball from David Wright. Rivers has beaten Connolly, all ends up. This could be his hat-trick. Mark Rivers! So close, and it did deflect, says the referee, off the keeper's hand. Even though the Crewe wall is there, it will go straight through it. Kearton with a 2-handed stop at his near post had to be alert. And Foran meets it and heads it right back to him. And there goes the final whistle. Well, although mathematically they could still go down, both these sides know for sure that they're near enough there now. Crewe with these 3 points must be the more certain of the 2. County, who still have yet to win in the new millennium, have been beaten thanks to an excellent performance from Mark Rivers.
Mark Rivers' household has had an excellent day by all accounts.
Yeah, not too bad. A couple of goals is nice, and we also ran a good race at Aydock Park, so I'm very pleased. Yeah.
Let's talk about the goals first. Talk us through the 2.
First one, I think it was Colin Little that played me through. Just made a run inside, and he didn't follow me, the full-back, and I just found myself in space. And the ball got caught up in the water a bit, I think, and so I had to sort of dig it out and try and chip the goalie just over as he was falling down, you know. So that was the first one, and the second one, I didn't really see it go in, but I picked it up near the halfway line, I think, and I just ran on with it a bit and just decided to hit it because they all kept backing off. And I didn't really see it going because I didn't think it was going in, and next thing I knew it was in, so yeah, happy.
It's funny how when you get a strike like you did last week against Queen's Park Rangers, the confidence flows and the chances come and they go in the back of the net all of a sudden.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I've had a bad run of not scoring. Been playing reasonably well, but and getting chances but not scoring. And it seems funny that last 2 games I scored 3 goals. So yeah, I'm happy.
What goes through your mind when you go 5 months without getting a goal when you're forward?
Not a lot really, because I was injured for 2 or 3 months of it. So I just keep plugging away, and I know the goals will come. And I know I'll always score goals wherever I go. So I just keep plugging away.
People say it's confidence, and when you've got confidence, things happen for you. Is that a true factor?
Maybe, but not so much with me. I don't think. I don't think I ever lack confidence. So it's just a case of if it's going for you or not, I think.
Now, what did Colin Little say today? Because you tie him with the leading goal scorer now, don't you? With 8.
I don't know. I think I've got 8. Have I? Yeah. He hasn't said anything to me, so.
He's been keeping quiet, has he?
He has kept quiet. Yeah. I didn't even realise I was tying with him.
So next week it could be in front.
Could be, yeah. It'll be first season ever.
Would it be fair to say you're within touching distance now of safety?
I would like to think so, yeah. We've done really well the last 2 games and got the 6 points. Hopefully we can get something on Monday, and if we can, I think then we'll be okay.
Would it be fair to say the time between yourself and Colin Cram has helped that come about?
Yeah, especially start of the season, I thought we were getting on really well, me and Crammy, and now we're back in the side again together, and I really enjoy playing with him. And he's a good player. He's got good vision, good passing skills, so yeah, it's a bonus for me and him play together.
Tell us a bit more about this horse. What's its name?
The name's Aussie Plunkett, named after a racing channel commentator, Alice Plunkett. And yeah, she's trained by Richard Annan in Wiltshire. And yeah, we're hoping for some good times with her.
Was there a few bob on it today in the Rivers household?
There was a bit, yeah, but it's all gone. So, but the bookies just lent it. I'm going to get it back.
What odds did it get?
I'm not too sure, because I was obviously playing, so I didn't know what she was. But I spoke to one of my partners, and he said she ran a really good race. So I'm happy that she's just come back safe.
Do you run around the training pitch and say, "Put some money on my horse is running today"?
I have done, so a few people will be after me now, I think. Yeah.
A very impressive win. You must be very happy this evening.
Yeah, delighted with the 3 points. I don't think the performance was anything like what we can do, but I think at this stage of the season the 3 points are more important than the performance.
Talk us through your goal. It was from 6 inches.
No, it's a little bit further out than that, about 4. No, we've been working hard on set pieces the last couple of weeks, and it's one we've been working on, Crammy flicking it on the near post, and the lad just seemed to lose me for a split second, so nice to score the first one of the season.
Excellent time to come up with this, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we said before the game we'd be happy to get a couple of early goals out, and it just seemed to go that way for us today anyway.
It was a splendid start. Mark Rivers took his chance ever so well. You got yours, and you're off and flying.
Yeah, it's always nice, especially when you go 2-0 up after, I don't know, I think it was quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. So, and then we gave him a soft goal back just before half time, and that put him right back in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, you went off at half time. We have to talk about the injury. Is it a serious one?
I don't think it's that serious, no, because I've not carried on it. But I felt it early on in the first half, and I just tried to run it off a little bit, but it was getting worse. So I just said to Daniel at half time I was struggling to carry on. So he's dragged me off and put Big Mark for Annan.
Split up the Walton Lightfoot partnership that was playing extremely well to that point.
Yeah, we seemed to do all right together. Me and David played quite a bit together at the end of last season, and we seemed to strike up a decent sort of partnership.
If you could get yourself, Walton and Macaulay all fit and raring to go, you would have an excellent 3 centre-back positions there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's not just the three of us. Stephen Wright as well is a quality player coming on loan from Liverpool. Even Big Mark Ferran, when he comes in, he does a decent job, doesn't let anybody down. So there is competition for places all the way through the team, especially at centre-half.
Now, how much did last week's win help to set up this week's win? It does seem to have set you up for the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, we were desperate to get 3 points by hook or by crook, and last week we performed well. We got the 3 points. And we took it easy in training this week. The lads have had a couple of days off, and we've worked hard the last couple of days, and we've been paid for it today.
How much does a win help the confidence inside the camp?
Oh yeah, boost confidence really well. I mean, the lads, even though we haven't been winning games, the confidence is still quite high in the camp, and the lads today and last Saturday proved that confidence is still high.
You'd say, fingers crossed, you were just about there?
No, I think we need another win, yeah. I don't think the Walsall results helped us much. It's, we could have done with them getting beat, us winning, then they need to win the last 3 games, and I don't fancy them to do that. But you never know. Just have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll get a good result on Monday.
Chris Lightfoot's season's been a bit disturbed with injuries this term. Would you hope for a better season next time?
Yeah, I would do. Yeah, I need to get a good pre-season under my belt, get myself back fit again, play some games, and see what happens then.
Would you say your position centre-back in this team or centre-mid? Would you have...
Yeah, I think I'm more comfy at centre-half, but if Dario wants me to play the odd game in midfield, I don't mind, I'll play anywhere.
And what about Dario Gradi? It's been another successful mission accomplished, nearly in the First Division.
Yeah, I don't want to tempt fate, but he does well. For the money that he has to spend, he doesn't spend a lot, but the lads he brings in are quality players, and the youth set up, the academy, they've got some quality kids coming through at the moment. I mean, that proves that in the 19s and the 17s are doing so well in the Academy League, and hopefully things are looking good for the future.
We were noticing his hairline has gone a little greyer and a little dimmer in the last few weeks. Would you say that it's been a bit of a difficult time since Christmas for him?
I think it's been a difficult time for any manager from Christmas if you don't put a run of results together. But Dario, he just takes it as it comes. He doesn't bother him, doesn't seem to faze him. So he's a top-class manager, simple as that.
You've just said that you didn't think you played well, but again, it's results that at this point in the season that counts.
Yes, and so obviously I'm pleased with the result, and I thought we played perhaps well enough to win. I didn't think Stockport played any better than us, but we've got some better teams to play against in the next few weeks. You know, they're big clubs: Sheffield United, Bolton, Barnsley. Barnsley is the smallest club of those three, and that's the hardest game. So we'll have to play better than that to get anything out of those games, I'd have thought. We've got to work hard in the corners because the only one who let him in is Macca, and he wasn't playing, so we've had to do a lot of other work on corners. So and they have to use their own initiative a bit on corners. Mark Ferran nodded the ball down for Colin Little at the end, but of course Colin Little had come off, and the player had gone on. I was thinking of something else. It's hard work, you know, when the players don't seize the initiative well enough, and I didn't think that we played anywhere near as well as we could. I thought we gave the ball away ever so easily, and made some poor decisions. Every now and then we did some good things, and we had some good footballers playing good football at times. River was a constant threat. I thought he played very well virtually throughout the game. Kenny and Fitz and starts. Centre halves defended okay at times. Didn't really give the centre forwards a chance. You hope that performance they gave today will be enough against, you know, the better quality opposition. We'll see.
You're going to need another result, aren't you?
I would think so, yes. I think Walsall are having a good fight, good spirit. They're fighting for their lives, and don't forget Walsall have had a year of winning. We've had 3 years of losing. They had a year of winning, you know, so it's a little bit easier to be resilient. It looks as though the bottom 2 clubs are down. West Brom, you wouldn't have thought West Brom were going to enter it. They didn't think so. When one of their players saw fit to criticise our lackadaisical warm-up, as he put it, when we played them. He said that showed what a poorly prepared side we were. So that would be interesting if they fall into it. You'd think their players would be too good for that.
I've talked about the calmness. Admittedly today you found yourself being wound up by the fact that there's not been that effort throughout the whole game that you want, but that calmness has certainly helped the players stay with the game and stay with their performances.
I know you mustn't quote me like that. I haven't said anything about I'm unhappy with their effort. I haven't said that at all. I never say that. I don't think I've ever said I'm unhappy with their effort. I wasn't happy with the football they played, the way they gave the ball away so easily. So I didn't think they played well, but I thought they worked very hard, as they always do, and I thought they deserved to win because they worked hard and they played some good football at times. Last year, you know, a lot of people on television were saying that they didn't think we'd get out of trouble because we didn't kick, and we needed to kick out. You know, teams that down the bottom, it's desperate, and I've always read that. You know, it's desperate football now, and we've got to. The results are more important than the performance, and we've got to win, and we've got to fight, and we've got to show passion, and I think, well, if that's the way to win, why don't you do that from the start? You know, if that's what wins you games. In other words, if you can change halfway through in order to win games, why didn't you do that to begin with? And I look at the teams that are top of everything in this world, in the world, and none of them play kick and rush, fighting, passion football. I saw Real Madrid play Manchester United during the week, and I thought, well, you don't play for a bigger prize than that, do you? There's never more at stake than that. and they were all calm, controlled footballers playing magnificent football at a terrific tempo. So that's what we're trying to do. Well, now we won't reach that standard, but that's what we're trying to do. So you've got to keep talking about playing football. So we've got to play better. What we've done recently is we've worked bloody hard on defending, and the midfield fellas are doing a tremendous amount of work in tracking back and winning the ball off the forwards on the wrong side, and also in the back players, their lines of recovery. We've worked very hard on organisation, not just on beautiful football. In fact, we haven't worked quite so much on the beautiful football. So in order to play good football, there's no point me going in there and sounding the battle cry and a bugle. I mean, that's why I said to Colin Little, I couldn't believe Colin's tackle when he got sent off, because I mean, I've never asked him to do that. I've never asked him to go and win a tackle. I don't want him to tackle. I don't want Rivo to tackle. I want him to close down there. Their job's not flying into tackles. I mean, there's a bloody good chance to get hurt. Rodney Jack went into a great challenge down here some months ago, down the bottom here. Won them a corner. It was a great challenge to win them a corner. Got crocked. Terrific. Really, that's a really good way to have your best forward playing.
Touched on the footballing aspect. The academy team's performance of late must leave you wondering whether you do have players that can take you on to that next level.
Yeah. Well, we've got some very good players in the teams, particularly the under-17 team is a good team. The under-19 team have done fine also. They've got some decent players. The under-17s team have probably got a larger group of good players who've been together a long time. And I wouldn't have thought there were too many of them that I would say were really outstanding players, but they're well above average and with a lot of potential. So they'll get better. They have got better, they do get better, and they play well together. And they play a nice kind of football. They play skillful football. That's how they've been brought up. And they manage to do it in important games. Important games for them, that is. Not important games for us, but important games for them. So the pressure is on them. They put their own, we don't put the pressure on, they put their pressure on themselves in a game like the playoffs. That's what's good about the playoffs. It puts them in a big game and tests the temperament. So yeah, I think that there's some players there that should come forward and play in the first team. When they come forward and play in the first team, whatever league we're in, we'll see whether we can go to a higher league.
Sheffield United against Crewe Alexandra next. Here's the dramatic finale that you missed if you left early. Crewe claimed the lead in the 87th minute, and Colin Cram's goal could have been enough for First Division safety. Sheffield's motivation, though, appears to be pride and party spoiling. Curtis Woodhouse went straight up the other end as the Blades cut short the celebrations.
The Junior Reds player of the season. The runner-up was Neil Savell. He got a generous round of applause from the Alexandra Stadium, but rightly David White picking up the junior votes as the player of the season as far as the youngsters here at Crewe are concerned. Well, this is the Supporters Club's presentation for their players of the season. The runner-up, not surprisingly, Kenny Lunt, who's had a tremendous term in the midfield and ever present there, and has really performed at the standard that Dario Gradi was wanting maybe a season or two before this time around. I'm sure Kenny Lunt will remember the goal that he scored against Port Vale as the moment of the season for him. That wonderful free kick helping Crewe to their safety position that hopefully they'll have. And here's a surprise for us, or maybe not. Jason Kearton, the goalkeeper for Crewe, who's played so well this season, picking up the Supporters Player of the Season award. And I'm sure that their minds will have been swayed by performances such as the one at Blackburn, when 27 shots were aimed at him, and he managed to keep them all out in that victory that, like the one that Kenny Lunt provided against Port Vale, went a
hell of a long way in providing Crewe their position at the moment, which should be safe in Division 1 for next season. For the captain Whitlow to move into, his ball on there was poorly hit, and now look at the space he's left behind. Rivers through for Cram. Cram is onside, but can't finish from an excellent position. Good Johnson, he's again turned out of Walton. A lovely first touch, and his second one is the opening goal of the game. Ida Good Johnson, who's suspected to lead Bolton with a £5 million move, has scored what will be one of the many strikes that will be remembered from Bolton Wanderers supporters this season. Little now to Mark Rivers. Fish is trying to get back. Rivers has defeated him to the first ball. Now what can Mark produce? He's twisted and turned himself into space. Mark Rivers! Oh, that would have been a fantastic strike. Lunt. Again, there's more space for Crewe to move into. Rivers is his outlet to this near side. And Mark wants to take on Mike Whitlow. And where's the support for Mark Rivers? He's got Kennan Street there. He's picked up a useful room and position inside the area. Street. Lunt. As Cram checked his run, he now has support alongside him from Rivers, and he's managed to find Mark Rivers, who scored. Super strike from Mark Rivers. It's his third in 4 games, and that's his 9th of the season. It ties him with Colin Little. Well, we said there was more goals in this game, and you don't feel that it's going to end there. Street tries to pick out Colin Little, and again Mark Fish has been exposed. Here is Colin Little. It took him 4 months to get his 9th goal of this season. His strike at Sheffield United with 3 minutes left looked to have given the Alex 3 points away from home, but now look at the space for Klaus Jensen. Set 3 by the South African. Jensen over the top of Bo Hansen, but it's down for Alan Johnston, who's stopped by the hand of Kearton. Street. Savell with the first time ball on for Little, and it's fallen for Colin Little. Jaskalainen was able to get down quick enough to stop it. Good Johnson, the first to seize upon the loose ball. Still Ida Good Johnson, still Ida Good Johnson. Oh my word, what a save from Jason Kearton. Johnston, after the loose ball that took 3 players out, let him go through. Oh, the challenge from David Wright has been judged a foul from Mr. Stretton, who's given the spot kick. He's been handed a gilt-edge opportunity to do it now from the spot. Dean Holdsworth makes it 2-1. Well, if the season is turned on a decision such as that, Dean Holdsworth will long remember it. Well, it goes under the foot of Michael Johansson. The square ball from Klaus Jensen. But he's got possession back as Johansson. Now Jensen into the feet of Good Johnson, who tries to play Jensen back through, and that's 3-1. And that's 3 points for Bolton Wanderers, whose playoff hopes now really take a shot in the arm. The chances of the Wanderers going up this season are still on.
For you here today at Barnsley, and you're safe. How do you rate your chances of victory?
Less than evens. I don't think we've ever won here. But it would take a very good performance from us to win here, or a bit of luck, or hopefully perhaps a bit of both. You know, the referees' decisions are so important in these, those vital games at the end of the season, and so a refereeing decision can change the game. I think it did when we played Sheffield the other week. We'll have to play well to win, but we did play well against Sheffield for a lot of the game. We didn't play so well when Mark Rivers went off. So we're relying on Rodney Jack replacing Rivo with a Rivo-type performance, which we haven't yet seen from him particularly this season. But he can do it, and has done it in training this week. So if we can just get that spark up front from the 3 boys, that there's a good chance. There's a chance that we could win the game, yeah.
And overall, you're confident you'll still be in the first division by the end of the afternoon?
No, I'm not confident because anything can happen. but I would think we'd have to be a bit unlucky. Not so much here, but you know, for both the other teams to win both those games, I think you know, that would be unusual. But unusual things can happen, particularly in the last game of the season. So it wouldn't totally shock me if that happened. But I would have to say at this moment in time, I'll being totally honest, I don't expect both those two teams to win.
Fluent style, 2-0 at Barnsley. This was kind of their warning shot, but typical of Crewe, Alex, isn't it? Desperate measures may be, but not desperate football.
No, they always play football. That's a great credit to them. And then it's, you know, it's, when I first came down United, it's strange how things changed, but Crewe were one of the long ball teams. Darryl got fed up watching it and started producing good football teams. This is a fantastic goal. That's fit for any game.
I was going to say that goal would grace the Champions League.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jack.
Marvellous volley. It was the chip in from Jack was fantastic. That's a first-class goal.
But not taking anything away from Crewe, you were saying earlier that you reckon Barnsley are quite happy they're not playing Bolton in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think the Barnes were rested a few yesterday. I think they'd summed it all up exactly where they wanted to be. So they've got Birmingham.
Yeah, I don't think we better go into that, really. Just a quick word about Dario Gradi. I mean, they do say that he's got the safest job in football.
I would
Even
say
more so than you.
Yeah, I would say, well, I've only 2 years left. Darry's got a few years left. But no, I think that Darry's cemented himself in the players because he's run the club a certain way, you know, and the directors allowed him to go on with that. So it's very much Dario's way, and I don't think it'll change.
Congratulations to Dario and the boys. Another successful fight against relegation. Plus points for the season have to be the emergence of young players, proving yet again Dario's ability to mould future Premiership players, even potential England stars. After success at academy and youth level this season, Dario's promised there's more to come, so the future at the Alex really does look rosy.